Should I put the cigarette out?
For the start, yeah, probably.
We're live.
We're live? I don't believe it. I don't believe it till I see the chat. Ignite. Dun 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 dun. Staring at the chat. Staring at it.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, Lush? Are we live? You see it? Lush.
Am I getting fired?
No, you're not getting fired, but it's like, all right, I have to make a big deal about the lateness thing because, okay, it used to be with like AD and House Phone that like AD was already getting there on time, and then House Phone would be like ridiculously late / not show up. Now, I don't mean to put you in the House Phone category because,
that's like quite a
to
category.
be fair, that is a completely different
There'd
level.
be like no call, no shows.
Exactly. That would be far, far worse for sure. We got to start on time. And starting on time, like, I don't want to fucking have to talk about this on camera and everything. I think it's kind of unbecoming of us to have these conversations internally, or externally. You got to try to get here early so that, like, this week and last week, you're like, oh, there was traffic. We live in LA. I know there's traffic.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful to the fans to like they're sitting at the computer at 2:00. We don't start till 2:30.
Yeah.
Like, I've been through the struggle of feeling like I lost fans, let fans down. I don't want to be the kind of podcaster that sets a time for a live show and then just starts like dramatically later. And unfortunately, you guys are putting me in the position where I'm doing that like every week. And it's like, it's just so unprofessional. It's just not the kind of podcast that I want to do. So I just want to make it clear that, like, if this problem doesn't stop, I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to get new co-hosts, and I don't want to go through that freaking process and everything, but I definitely will. So I just want to put that out there so that you can't say that you were blindsided or anything, but I take you showing up a half hour late as a personal disrespect. And granted, yes, Perkhead 99 over here is even more late, so that's quite bad as well, but we can't do this anymore. Like, we can't do it at all. Like, I want every week for us to start on time. Do you think that that's like too much to ask?
No, I don't think it is.
Like, you had time to put on your fancy F-word overalls.
This is pretty fresh.
You came in with your branded hat. You've got No Jumper merch on, which okay, that's how you're gonna make it up to me because you're not here. Everybody's saying that Bricc is on live right now. It would be they're saying Bricc is crashing out on live. Is that true?
As long as it takes the heat off of me. I'm not, look, I don't want to blame anything. You're right. I should be on time. You feel me? It's all biz ed. I'm a make more of an effort.
Okay. Cause it's like, this is my thing. If you care about something and you respect it, you'll be on time. And if you don't care and you don't respect it, then you'll be consistently late. And like, I see you guys being consistently late. I can't even remember. Like, I feel like there was a time relatively recently where we did like 5 minutes late, and that felt like a great victory.
Could I like offer some defenses of my tardiness, or is it even? There's just no point.
You can, but my thing is that there shouldn't be any defenses.
That's
like,
what
your
I'm saying,
schedule should be such that it's just not an opportunity. And I'm particularly attuned to this right now because, and also, can you turn that off? Last night I'm watching the Danny from the Stop video about improper improv, which is Queen's Flip's new show on the Joe Budden Network. It's a live show. And I didn't actually see any of it, but I'm watching Danny review it. And he's saying how Joe was on Queen's Flip's helmet about his own show not starting on time. And I was just like, you know what? This is like, at least it felt good to understand that, like, oh, okay, this happens to everybody, that this is something that a lot of people have to deal with. But I just like, I have to do stuff in order to make it clear how not cool with it I am, because like every time you guys are super late, I just try to just smooth past it because I want to start the podcast off on a good note.
No, but I can tell I know you well enough at this point to know when your vibe is slightly off. And I've noticed there's been times where we've been late or I've been late, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to talk about whatever. That's between him and you. But as far as
you were getting pegged for sure, I get it.
Hey,
you were getting pegged violently with 2 strap-ons duct taped together.
Look,
and I know that can be a lot.
I could tell that when you've been slightly irritated without you like saying it, and I could see you mentally trying to work past it and being like, I want to have a good vibe on the pod. This dude is late. I'm gonna, but I could feel that it already starts on a wrong note. So yes, thank you for holding me accountable, chat and everybody, and I will make an effort to be on time. Despite
it's just also a half hour to me. Like 5 minutes late is like not great. But if you start within 10 minutes of the correct starting time, it's like, okay. I can imagine a fan sitting there at 2, ready to watch it, and then they stick around till 2:10. 2 to 2:30 is like a lifetime.
Well, there was a multi-ethnic accident on the freeway.
Describe multi-ethnic.
Yeah, I mean, like there's different,
like one guy had
different races involved. You know what I mean? There's Asian people tripping, white people tripping. It was a multi-ethnic pile up on the 5 to 135.
Well, this is a multi-ethnic podcast. We have white people, we have Jewish Mexicans, we have black people, we have all kinds of different people. I would suggest that we should start on time every week. I feel like you got to pick a time to aim for that gives you a buffer so that you are there on time. I was here like 2 hours early today. Got to, sit in my chair, got to, watch some YouTube content, realistically, probably like peer into a few of the topics that we're going to actually discuss on here.
Which I have been researching as well. Now, also to be fair, it was not confirmed our start time until like 11:47 a.m.
No, we talked about it last night too.
We spoke about it last night, but it was not confirmed.
Do you want me to pull up the receipts? Because I do not believe you at all.
Yes, pull up the receipts.
I will.
And if I'm right, then I'm right.
Look at this. We're on a bit. Go back in this a little bit. Okay. Nope. We definitely don't want to do Sunday. We're talking about yesterday. Wait.
Check this out, guys.
I'm looking at my text with Lena. That's not correct. Okay. Now I'm looking at the text.
No Jumper Show.
The No Jumper Show text blockade.
There's never a confirmation from Mike number 2.
He confirmed with me separately.
Okay, but that was never.
But we talked about it in here, and we confirmed in here
at like 11 something this morning.
No.
Check it out.
We talked about it last night or yesterday. Like throughout the day, we were talking about if we could do the
right.
2 PM
I even
thing.
suggested it, but I'm just saying it was not confirmed. Tell me I'm wrong, Adam. If I'm wrong, I'm a motherfucking bitch. Like, tell me right now.
Now you're swearing.
You had already swore.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I said friggin' at one point even. I said friggin' because I'm so self-conscious about. So okay,
tell me where it's confirmed.
This is me having a hard time finding it. However, I felt like you were the one that I didn't have to worry about because I hit up Bricc separately. Okay, here we are. Now we're on Monday.
10:44 a.m. today. I said 2 or 4 p.m. Josh responded slightly thereafter with 2. So that's less than 3 hours ago, chat.
I'm actually taking longer than I would prefer to take on this.
Yeah, it's good.
But
I won't be late anymore. That's it.
Okay.
But just saying, there are a few somewhat decent defenses.
No, for sure. Bricc is terrible, for sure. Okay. I'm down to do 2 if y'all are. You said same. I said, tell Spider-Loc I'll wash him. We're going to get into that.
That's another topic.
In a little bit later. Okay. To be fair, we didn't 100% confirm it until this morning at 7 a.m. I said, yo, Bricc, you good for a 2 p.m. start? Then I texted him separately. Then you hit us up at 10:44 a.m. and said 2 or 4 p.m. Josh said 2 p.m. So 10:44 was
3 hours.
3.5 hours ago. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty decent amount of time to know what's going on.
It's a decent amount of time.
Okay. Well,
as
long as I've made my point, I've crashed out. This is officially a crash out stream.
My bad. I won't do it again, boss.
Okay.
With that being said,
I don't want to make you feel bad. I don't want to make this a weird,
I ain't a bitch.
aggressive, passive. It's like
I ain't no bitch, bro.
I have bad memories of them being so harsh to me. Look at it. There he is. There's my African American. Get in here.
And notice
that's a Donald Trump reference. I'm not racist.
And I ain't even putting him on blast or trying to act like he later. This whatever y'all got going on is between y'all. Whatever we got going on is between us. With that being said, there's a strong fear of me getting my ass beat yesterday, but it didn't happen.
Who? Why? How?
Well,
yesterday was Monday. I didn't even see.
We thought my girl was going to beat me up.
How did that go? Well, okay, that's a real topic. We should probably, now that he's here, we should. I feel like domestic abuse is very entertaining and funny, and I hate to know that Bricc would miss out on that. But yeah, okay. So I don't know. What should we talk about before that? See, they all know. They all know about "There's My African American." That's a good meme.
Yeah, didn't that go? I want to say that goes back to Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Who?
Like that, I remember like Larry saying that to Leon.
No,
like,
Trump said it during a rally.
No, I understand that, but I believe that. Are you my African American? I believe there is a Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Wow, look at this. FBG Murda and Screwly G put a video out together. So
Screwly don't like Mexicans, but I'm cool with hoes.
We gotta talk about that too. But that means that fake FBG, which is FBG Murda, is a rapper from Dallas, and FBG is basically like his ops. That they have like a murderous war going on with. And actually, when I did the interview with FBG Murda, I didn't know that his brother allegedly has like 6 hats, and there's YouTube documentaries about him. I was
gonna say I'm not laughing at them when I laugh because they look absolutely terrifying just from the thumbnail. But
that's just crazy because like Screwly G is beefing with the actual FBG rappers, and now he's teamed up with another person who hates FBG but has FBG in his name. This is extremely complicated. Hello, Bricc baby. How are you doing? I got to get on your ass. I have to. As long as I'm extending my condemnation to the Jewish Mexican side of this table, I'm also going to throw it your way. Bricc, we have to commit to starting on time.
Adam, you know it wasn't my fault today.
I know you were at the Vlad show.
All right, and then we started at 2. We were supposed to start. We usually start at 4. I booked this 2 weeks ago at 11.
Oh, okay. Okay, to be fair, that does make some sense. But if I was doing an interview at 11 with Vlad, I would tell him I have a hard out at 1:30 so I could be here by 2.
So blame.
Hard.
I'll take the blame. Yo.
I got to go in on you. I just went in on him hard. I accused him of being pegged with 2 dildos duct taped together at the same time.
Gay over there, Vlad.
But speaking of dildos,
I feel
like I was like, yo.
I mean, I just watched a clip of you talking about DeRozan Paul, and you were talking about a lot of zesty stuff in that too. Wait, you're saying that Vlad served you up? He Vaseline in your ass?
I don't know how we got on Tupac and rape in jail, and then after the cameras went off, it just got kind of.
So you turned the cameras on, and you decided you were going to be late by continuing to talk about gay sex with Vlad?
Yeah.
So you could have been on time, but you decided instead to just kick it and talk about dicks.
Waiting on an Uber.
Oh, okay.
That's my wife.
Your wife is
yeah, she was coming to pick me up.
Okay.
And she lacked. She got there at like 2.
I feel like you look different right now.
I feel like because I took my braids down.
That might be it. I feel like you're like starting to look like the old Bricc.
They breaking that old shit back.
Do you see it? Am I tripping?
Yeah, no.
I feel like your head shape has changed a lot over the years.
You got like 5 years younger over this. What happened?
Maybe I haven't seen you with a hat like that in a while.
What did you do?
It's because we had yarmulkes on for the hexagram video shoot.
No. That was the Free Durk video.
No.
And we need a better name for that song than Hexagram. Because like the first 2 songs had really good titles.
Great titles. I gave you that. You got the world. Yo. Yeah.
That's why he was late. I'm on the podcast right now.
Yeah, bro. I feel like those 2 songs and the timing and the name, because we didn't know. Well, Free Durk, okay, Durk was already, but what would Von do? I think that was right before all of the stuff, right?
Yeah, because I just randomly said that. I heard Flacco's verse, Frilla, if you will.
Yeah, Frilla.
And that inspired me to do my verse. And Trap La Raza gone as well. And I kind of just went with his direction. And I was like, oh, he's talking about ops a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something about ops. And obviously, like, my decision I kind of constantly have to make is like, do I go ham on the ops or do I just kind of leave it alone? And lately I've been leaving it alone. I would like to pat myself on the back and say I've barely been talking about anyone.
Missing limbs and shit. It's easy for you to leave it alone. It's like, dude, come on,
If
man.
you
He's in the
combine-
disabled line,
No,
bro.
but they're like Goro. If you combine both of them, it's like 6 limbs. So it's like Goro from Street Fighter.
And some of the other ones weigh enough to be multiple people at once. Like like a bunch of kids wearing one trench coat to like sneak into the movies.
Standing on each other's shoulders.
What was that, Little Rascals? When
Was
they
that
snuck into
that's the
bank?
origin of it?
Yeah, they snuck into the bank to get the loan.
I think there was a joke about it on BoJack Horseman.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Remember that movie Blank Check?
They
Like, bro, like,
What was that about?
yeah, like basically, like, bro, some little kid got hit by a car, but it turns out it was like some mobsters, and they wrote him a blank check. He took it to the bank, cashed it for $1 milliwop, and then was just like a little kid. Like,
Oh yeah, that's tight.
Yeah, it was
did
hard.
they dress up under a trench coat?
Yeah, fools had to stand on each other's shoulders. You
For
feel
real?
me? Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that's like a
that's dope.
typical maneuver.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Maybe I'm only seen it in Little Rascals. I thought that was like a signature play.
Wasn't you supposed to be in the Little Rascals? Don't even look.
Buckwheat.
Buckwheat.
And that sounds like
Tay.
As a kid, one of my
Okay.
favorite jokes was, "Your mama's so hairy that it looks like she got buckwheat in a headlock."
in a headlock between her legs.
Yeah.
Your mama's twat is so hairy.
That's crazy. What
Your
was
mama's
that about
vagina is so hairy that it looks like she's got buckwheat in a triangle choke.
the leg lock?
We didn't know about that back then, but
Yeah, I apologize for being late, bro, because you guys, I see that you guys are thinking about getting me up out of the building. I'm starting to think it's a Bricc Baby conspircy. I see that Geechee came and dissed me on my own show.
you're right.
First of all,
We're
hold
testing
on.
out new Crips
Yeah,
for extras.
yeah, a party crib.
You are
I
more
just
of a Crip. He's more of a we gotta get down off the back.
Off the back.
Different
with
type of Crip. We've got,
He's a party crib. I'm a real crib.
Oh
Nah,
man,
I'm
you just
playing,
started a
cuz
war. This is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh man.
You had 2 party cribs up here, cuz. Talking about my internet cribbing.
I feel
Nah,
bad.
Don't you? I'm out.
He said, how about?
I feel bad I didn't go to 4 Extras video shoot.
Yeah, nah, I appreciated them sitting there.
the back video?
Well, they shot a major video, for 4 Extras video in
Can I
the
tell you
section this
before we
weekend.
get into
about to
replacing him? When 4 Extra was in here with Compton AV,
That's my dog.
Compton AV,
Good friend of mine.
they were talking about trying to get me to pull up to the video shoot for Off the Back. I'm telling them I'm down. I just give me a week in advance so I can make sure that I'm free and everything like that. Then I started to suggest that I should get on the song. And 4 Extras is like, yeah, Adam, you gotta get on it. And I see Compton AV, I see like the look on his face change a little bit.
Nah,
And I'm like,
no.
That's because you gonna
No,
want your
no.
splits. He already had it done without nobody getting no
I
splits.
think-
he might be a little insecure. He might know that
Hold
me
on.
washing him is inevitable.
Well, I will say that Compton AV is he understands the way the internet works. He understands the vision. He would definitely not be adverse to getting on a record with you. I feel
Oh,
like.
record, I could possibly see that. However, I mean, obviously, if he does a song with me, that puts him in an adversarial place with some people that he probably gets along with. I could assume that. And then also, it's like, if this really is going to be the song that takes Compton AV and 4 Extra to the next level, it's like, why would you want to insert this colonizer, this white boy who realistically is probably going to steal a lot of the shine, you know?
Well-
or insert a degree of controversy that a lot of people would be wise to not court.
Off the back, off
Off-
the back,
off the back with it.
What were you about to say? Sorry.
AV is a dude that's done a lot of things that most people in the rap scene would not be able to even achieve. Like, he has records where he's got people from Bounty Hunters and Grape Street on the same song. You know what I mean? Like, he has,
On some
Like-
Lancaster shit or on some green grape, green apple?
I mean, that's like AV is from,
Who, what Bounty Hunter and what grape?
let me look it up. They're both reputable and they not know out of town. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
that's
that
what I
right
was
now. I'd have
asking.
to, yeah. You can look it up, but nah. So AV doing a record with Adam 22.
Can we just put our headphones on? I just want to play this just because this, to me, is very, very important on a day like this.
You know what I say now? When we have a protester inside, which isn't even very often, I say, be very gentle. Please don't hurt him. we had a case where we had an African-American guy who was a fan of mine. Great fan, great guy. In fact, I want to find out what's going on with him. You know what I'm, look at my African-American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
You can't help it, bro.
I just wanted to make it. Also, bro, this was a long time ago. This was at least 8 years ago.
That was hard.
That seems like a different person.
Yeah.
As much as I'm not a fan of the guy, that's a different dude.
I mean,
8 years at 70, bro.
I'm saying between 70 and 78, a lot of
For
things.
sure. You start aging a lot faster around that point. Wait, so what am I supposed to look up? You want Compton AV
That shit don't matter.
music
That's
video?
my boy.
Nah, you got.
I just want to know who you're talking about now. Is this it?
Yeah. I'll tell you right now. It's called Where You From?
I mean,
or
we
What
could
You
probably,
Bang or
it's
some
probably
shit.
like one of his more popular songs. So we could just look at it like this, right? No?
You ain't a real clip.
Snoop
You ain't a
Dogg
real
and Slim
Crip,
400.
You ain't a real blood. That's how it goes.
Compton ass TG and TZ?
No.
I'm not really 100% sure where everybody's from, so I don't know. Snoop Dogg and Corrupt. He's definitely got a lot of freaking features over the years, man. Look at this.
A lot of people respect
Well, he
him.
got Haiti Baby at Yellow Hill.
Sally Rue and Stupid Young.
These are all people from like different cities that were.
Well,
Yeah.
LMKR, that's why I was asking what was it, because LMKR labeled me crack rated, right? That's his clique out in Lancaster, and it's a lot of people.
Hold on.
What?
On West Side Road.
No, I know what
That's his clique in
LMK,
Lancaster.
but it's way more than just Lancaster.
No, that was all who nigga. Ricky was from Lancaster. He was that LMKR is strictly from
Well-
Lancaster. That's a clique from Lancaster.
Ricky is a different kid.
What I'm saying, whatever dude that made, whatever Grape Street made the song when they was labeled me crack rated, whatever young dude, he was from the Lancaster clique. It's a music clique out there in Lancaster.
No.
Crack rated.
Yeah.
It ain't bigger than Lancaster. It ain't from Lancaster, brother.
That was, LMKR was like started cracking during like the jerking era and all that.
In Antelope Valley. Look it up.
I'm gonna find this record.
Okay, while you do that, people out there, I want to talk to you. What is Prize Picks? Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the only app that we use here at No Jumper on game days. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $5 bonus. $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. You think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards next week? Will Lamar Jackson pass more than 1.5 touchdowns? Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. This week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the football board and selecting Jamar Chase for more than 79.5 receiving yards and Patrick Mahomes for more than Mahomes.
He did it again.
I'm a huge football fan. Please excuse me. For Patrick Mahomes for more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Download the app today and use the code NOJUMPER, one word, to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Where are our fucking mods? Why is this guy being allowed to say Adam Gay 1,800 times? Why do we even have mods? Anyway, Prize Picks, run your game. That's right, Prize Picks, run your game. Anyway, okay. How you guys doing?
I'm cool. So the record that I was talking about is called That Ain't You, and it features one of the most reputable bounty hunter rappers, Killer Twan. You feel me?
Shout out Twan.
And R.I.P. Blackout, one of the most reputable grape streets in history, and somebody from your hood. So not only was I right, but I was super duper right.
Do you know anything about like how that was to happen? Because I would have thought that would probably not happen.
Well, what I would assume is, and this is making an assumption, that I would assume that Twan and Blackie weren't aware that. And by the way, that's what his homies called him. That's not like some weird shit. Like shouts R.I.P. Blackout. That was my homie for real in real life. I would assume that they didn't realize that each other were gonna be on the song. If I had to
Nah,
guess.
that ain't what happened.
All right, then what happened?
You got to think J-Rock from Grape Street.
Nipsey, yeah.
And Killer Twine is all money in. So it was probably easier to build that bridge. It seemed like it was like an all money in thing. Like AV pulled up to Nipsey studio and they all, Compton Menace, everybody was there because you remember Compton Menace and Blackout was like left and right with each other. I feel like that's how it went down.
That would make a lot of
Those two were a
sense.
little bit easier.
But Blackout was
A real Grape Street.
right.
And them two real Grape Street, real bounty hunters. But
Right.
I'm
That's how
planning
I feel.
on doing a motorsport move of my own on Almighty and Frosty.
Yeah.
Tell them both, hey, I want to get on this beat, and then boom, shoot the video, boom, it comes out. Everybody thinks that you guys are hanging out. Shoot the video in the same location so it looks like they were all together.
That'd be amazing.
And then what happens when Almighty says,
Fuck it.
yeah, I've never like that.
I
You'll
just made
choose
a
it?
hit.
Oh
I got
my
y'all on the
God.
same song. No, I'm not really going to do that. But that would be pretty crazy.
They did make great music together.
You
like,
should put
no matter who wants to say
Me and
what,
Whack
like,
on the song.
Oh, but he refuses to rap. I tried to get him to do the intro for the cypher. Imagine him getting over that wall off the steps onto the roof.
It would have been plenty ass in the air. Blue.
Not enough was made of how crazy Flacco looked trying to get over that thing.
Yeah. You talk about at the Cypher?
Yeah, he got his hoodie
Yeah,
dirty and
Cypher,
everything. That was
so-
crazy.
He tried to roll. I mean, it was a lot of big guys that made it up there, though.
Think about our development in music videos. We went from that cypher, which we literally filmed in about 15 minutes, to our most recent video, Voice Too Hard.
Movie.
I mean, that's of all my years, and I've been dropping music videos since 2006. That's probably one of the highest production value videos. I've ever
Weren't you
been a part of.
shocked by that space? Because for those who don't know, that space had all those sets and many, many more. It's like
We
you
didn't
walk,
go nowhere.
you rent
Yeah,
one
wow.
space. I don't know what we paid for an hour, but it might have been like $100 or like maybe a little bit more.
I would hope they charge more than
$200,
hour.
something like that.
Because you can get too much done there.
When I said yes to the location, it was like $50 to $400. So I don't really know. It might have been as much as $400. We were only there for like 3 hours or some shit. But it's like you could shoot a video and make it look like you shot the video in like 20 different places in that one building. It was kind of crazy.
Voice Too Hard is a really talented director because he took like minimal effort on our behalf and turned it into something that looks like we really put a lot of thought into it. When
The bodega shot really looked like
Right.
we was thugging in front of
It
the
looks like
store.
we're outside. Yeah, and we didn't have any like special lights. Did you notice? I'm pretty sure the light guy is his dad.
Oh, is that who he is? Okay,
I think so.
He was cool as hell.
I got the vibe
He was
from
cool as
that
hell.
dude that he was like very, very proud of Voice at one point, and I was like, "Oh, this is not like regular pride." I'm pretty sure that like
Who OG that was there?
Could be
I'm pretty
Unky.
sure that's his pops.
I could be
Yeah,
Unky.
yeah,
or
yeah.
If
Pops.
it's not, it's like someone with a fatherly role for him
Yeah.
or
He
whatever.
He was taking pictures and all that.
yeah. I thought that was crazy. But that's dope. Like if your dad like wants to come around, you're the lighting guy, Dad.
And also something that I think
Cam Capone, not to cut off, but Cam Capone's dad is like the lighting guy too.
Really?
Yeah. The first time I did something with him, it was like an old dude fixing the light. He's like, "All right, pops, do this, do that." And I went out to his recording location and
Bro, I'm not gonna play it right now, but I was
I
just
was
watching
the video.
Wait, oh no, I was gonna talk about this is you. Gucci Mane has good bussy. You said that to Cam Capone, and then you tried to keep a straight face for like 45 seconds. I was just like, what? Like, what is happening to this dude? Like, I feel like
Orlando Brown.
you're getting a little. I know. No, I'm just saying, you're getting a little
Little
zestier than I thought you probably ever would.
Hey man, the street's over with, Adam.
Yeah.
I could be as funny as I want to be. I got a wife. These niggas still got to get married and have kids.
The only street we need
Yeah.
is Santa Monica Boulevard. Or is it Sunset? Which is the
Weston.
gay one?
Until the
They both
sun
get a
comes
little,
up.
but it's Santa Monica.
Santa Monica is clearly that's GBG.
But
You're going to the
Central.
Pink Pony Club.
how you know the names of them?
That's a song that Chapel Roan wrote about
right.
going to gay clubs.
Okay.
But she wrote that song about the Abbey. You ever been to the Abbey?
Nah, I ain't been to none of them.
I've been to the Abbey,
Why?
Been to the
Are you gay?
kicking it with bitches, and
Oh.
they'd be like, "You be going to that?"
So there is one club that I went to that's a gay club, but it's a gay club from Monday to Saturday, and then Secret Sundays used to be, or what was that? Ace of Diamond Mondays.
Oh, yeah,
The AOD
okay.
right there.
That don't count, 'cause
yeah,
that's
West
not-
LA. But some nights, I ain't gonna lie, they got two sides to the club. Some nights, if you park on the back street and try to walk in, it's like a gay club on one half, and then I'm like, whoa.
You're like, oh, this is my kind of town, baby. Turn
I don't
up.
know which one I'm dipping into. Nah,
Ever since I left Atlanta, I've been feeding for this energy.
Man, fuck you.
No, hey, but one thing, Adam, I think it's important to point out. People think we really tried hard on Free Durk. Like, oh, I saw a lot of comments like Lush spent months writing his bro. We went in there high as a motherfucker.
We all recorded in like 20, 30 minutes
that
max.
shit. Yeah.
I seen Blasey comment on something and be like, basically just like fully hating on my verse as if I'm like taking this super seriously. When Blasey himself, I feel like I already made this point on here, but he has rap videos within the last couple years. And I'm assuming like when he put those videos out, I mean, obviously he's trash at rapping. I didn't like make a big deal out of it. I think I told him like, bro, you should probably not do that anymore. But he's responding on Instagram, acting as if this is this super intense personal journey that we're all intent on going on. We made a rap song in, a couple hours and we shot the video and put it out because we were having fun.
We made an album in a couple hours from having fun.
True.
Don't try
People
to
are
cut it
so
off.
disconnected from the reality is that it's fun to rap. It's fun to make a song, and we're not like in there tripping about like what this is gonna do for us commercially.
And let's go bar for bar, Blasey song.
Blasey, I'll eat your ass alive.
That's
cool. And I already know who my video girl gonna be.
Come on, man.
See
It's
me
an easy
everywhere.
call. Oh, that's why he's hating on you.
See me
He thinks
everywhere.
but that's how self-absorbed Blasey is that he thinks that me having his ex in the video is like a personal attack on
It
him.
wasn't a diss.
And he made it into this big thing when we had her on the podcast because we asked her for like literally like 60 seconds about Blasey and she didn't want to talk about it. And we were like, all right, cool.
And he
made it into
we
this
didn't
big
force it.
thing about like, oh, they're clout chasing off me. Like he has so much clout
And
that
like
I'm just
that-
dying to bask in.
And like that bar that I even said was some thought out thing that didn't just pop in my head because it sounded funny. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like, come on. Oh, we're just not major.
That was insane to me. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, yesterday, I took a mushroom chocolate and went on stream by myself for 4 hours.
Oh, you was on one?
That's why you was in there.
I swear to God, I looked up after about 3 hours and I was just like, oh shit. Like, I've been on here for a minute. That's fucking
Look,
crazy.
I watched like 30 minutes of the stream. I went out, got into the YouTube street. I'm on the play. I'm switching planes. I'm like, this nigga still on streets.
I had fun. It was good. I felt like it was good, like, practice for this kind of thing. Like, I felt like having to sit there and make conversation for 4 hours really kind of like gave me a little bit of a confidence boost in terms of like what I need, like what mentality I need to be in to be on here today. Honestly, it's taking some self-control right now to be on here because normally on election day, you're watching the news, you're checking Twitter over and over and over, for me at least, and it's just fun to see all the craziness pouring in.
They be tripping over
I haven't
that
looked at it all day, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what the new narratives are. I'm very interested. I'll probably have to wait till I get home to dive into that.
I thought that we were.
shit.
Are we not following the election on stream?
Up to the minute election coverage?
I don't think at 3 p.m. that there's going to be anything valid for us to like really look at.
They
But
said
there's probably
results
some
start
interesting
coming in
stuff.
at 7 p.m. I could be wrong.
Right,
about
so right
that,
around
yeah.
the time that we get off here, probably. So I think that that's probably going to be when we start to tune in. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck who wins at this point. I mean, I know who I want to win, but I can see like positives coming from both sides of the equation. And there are people, particularly, well, no, really, there's people on the right and the left who are going to be deeply upset if one side wins over the other. And that's one thing I really love about the election is just seeing people that I don't like get really, really butthurt.
That is tight.
And there's so many people I hate on both sides that I look forward to that. One of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life is when Trump won and I was watching the Complex live stream because Complex used to do that kind of thing. And Peter Rosenberg and what was her name? Emily, was random hot chick that I used to see on Complex News. Emily Oberg.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they look like they were going to cry. It almost made it all worth it to see my person lose during that election.
Yeah, Peter Rosenberg getting like upset and indignant is always.
People said you dressed as him for Halloween.
I might as well have.
Go back to the most recent episode.
I might as well have. That's the best part is that people thought that was like they didn't even take into consideration. Yeah, it's Halloween. I don't usually dress like that, and it's so funny because.
But you were Al Bundy, right?
I was Al Bundy.
Great minds, because I noticed that T-Raw wore the same costume.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I believe that he wound up. I saw like actually Heather as Peg. I never actually saw.
Ironically,
him, yeah, in his
Heather was Peg.
Ironically,
normally she's doing the pegging. Yeah.
However, I did see they dressed as Martin, and I think they pulled that off pretty well. I thought that was good.
It's such like a chick thing to have like 8 Halloween costumes.
Yeah, it's a very look at me thing.
Just tear down spirit.
Yeah,
Atlanta sucks on Halloween.
You were out there?
Yeah,
because all the guys.
That's where I took Zoe and them. That was
took your daughter to Atlanta.
Zoe and them demanded this months ago.
What did they think they were going to do there?
No, they have family out there. Like her favorite cousins live in Atlanta, so she spends half the summer in Atlanta all the time.
Okay.
So she was like, "Dad, I want to go to like their Fright Fest," and that like they always talk about their haunted houses and all that. So I'm like, I booked it a long time ago.
You taking them to Magic City or anything?
I took my nephews and stuff out.
Shut up. How old are they?
In college. You met little dude that came to the last little interview at the J Hill joint.
Okay.
So there's no overlay on their freak night and
it's nothing. They don't even trick or treat like that. Like, bro, I was like, oh, we go out to the neighborhood and go trick or treat with the baby. We all dressed up and shit. It's like you gotta walk 5 miles to get fucking 3 pieces of candy. Like every 10 houses got candy out there.
That's like
what the fuck?
In Buckhead though, like in the rich part of town type thing.
Nah, I was every side of town for real, bro. Because I was on the south side, then I was like on a couple different sides, so just wasn't no.
I had to take my kids all the way to Santa Clarita, my neighborhood, which to me seems like.
No, you didn't.
Well, I didn't have to, but to me, my neighborhood seems like the kind of place where they would trick or treat. They don't, and
that's dangerous.
Not really. Why?
I feel like the cars swerving down those roads.
I mean, I don't want to go into detail, but I feel like my area is like very. I feel like it would be a great place to trick or treat, but apparently people just don't do this the same way that they used to.
There's certain areas you can go to, like there's certain parts of like Beverly Hills or Santa Monica that are known, and then people from all over the city kind of go there. You'll see families from the hood going up there and all that.
But even worse though is like
full size Milky Ways. Ain't no.
Oh, see, yeah. See, okay, I saw some people doing that, handing out like a full like Twix bar, like $1 worth of Twix, and I'm like, holy shit, you're really balling out tonight, right?
Balling out,
but you know what I really fucking hate that people do too is that everybody takes a pot of candy and just puts it on their step.
Like a motherfucker's not gonna come take it all.
Okay, there's that. I don't care if anyone does that, but for me, it's like the Halloween was all about you sit in your house, you wait for the doorbell to ring, you go to the door, you open up the door, you say, "Hey kids, do you want some candy?" They say trick or treat. You give them some candy. They tell you what their costume is. You have this like funny 20 seconds of dialogue, and then they're on their way.
And then COVID came.
Yeah,
it takes all the fun out of it to just put it on the steps. Even though like it is pretty stupid to have to get up like every 6 seconds when somebody shows up to your door, right? But
nah, if there's a bowl of candy, I'm gonna hit a stain finito. You feel me?
So you're like one of those guys who goes viral for stealing the whole thing.
When I was and I'm sure Bricc can relate to. By the time we was in
that's immoral.
By the time we were in 4th or 5th grade, we started torturing the entire neighborhood on Halloween. It was about ransacking
TPs,
candy,
eggs, and taking people's candy bags. Like
we're kicking over pumpkins like drill rappers do candlelit vigils of their ops. Like we had
wrecking somebody's shit.
Yeah, it was pure destruction.
The neighbor that you hate. When they got the good shit going on, leave a lot of toilet paper and egg.
Oh yeah, I used to do a little. Well, I think I more like wanted to and like saw it on TV. I don't think I ever actually really did much TPing. I don't think I got around to it.
Yeah, I TP'd a gang of times.
We would TP when it wasn't Halloween. It didn't even need to be Halloween.
We just had to have enough for toilet paper. Yeah. We had enough because you can't take your mama TP outside. You're gonna get your ass whooped.
Oh no.
You take that toilet paper from in the house, 3-4 rolls missing. All right.
There was this kid, Randy, who lived on my block, and he egged my house on Halloween. So the next day, I saw him walking to school, and I took off my bat, and I ran down on, or my belt. Took off my belt and ran down on him and like beat his ass with this belt. It was like,
You put belt to ass?
Literally. And what was crazy though, I'm like 8th grade. My mom was so mad. I didn't think she was gonna be mad. I thought she was gonna think I was a fucking hero because he egged the house. Who knows what the egg could do to our siding? It could be all yolked up, if you will. And that was a weird realization of like, oh, my parents won't be proud of me for doing a violent act, even if it's justified.
Yeah, no, but you did the right thing.
Call the police next time.
It felt good.
Somebody tell Adam whooping people ain't normal.
Okay, back to the song.
Put a belt to ass in it.
How did you feel about the reaction to your contribution? The feedback. I know that like a large percentage of people were basically telling me that I suck, I'm horrible, I shouldn't rap anymore. I feel like they're all just kidding.
My boy DJ on it, it's a banger. Tapped in like, boy, you go crazy.
That's the homie right there. Shout out to my guy
Top
DJ.
Squad DJ. He reached out. Everybody, I've been having all positive, and everybody's like, oh, that's a dope way to respond to the controversy or whatever. I almost did not put a verse on that song
because it felt too controversial.
You remember I was like, I don't know. You like, I don't think it'll be nothing. I'm like, well, I can just go with my standpoint. I don't gotta.
I was telling you to do it, but I also felt like you were quite likely going to say no, and then I was pretty happy when you did because I was like, that's a lot cooler than 3 white guys on this beat.
Yeah. No, you had a very important verse, and you had a lot to say on this matter, and you were in the midst of a lot of controversy.
And you were sandwiched between me doing a bunch of weird jokes and then Trap Lord Ross basically kind of shitting on him. Holding up the Young Boy shirt to me was kind of like where he drew a line in the sand and was like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
They didn't get my footage of me dumping it.
So
you threw it on the ground. I saw that, yeah.
Full disclosure, I had showed DJ's people the joint before it came out, and it was already like Bricc did his Dougie on that.
Yeah, he had reached out. There's a couple of people that reached out like, dang, bro, you back in your bag. Like Adam got you back rapping. This is the exact words out of the DM. They say Adam put you in the middle of controversy, but he got you back rapping at like an all-time high. I guess because we having fun. They see that we having fun with this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
With this shit in a minute.
I feel like what we do, we having as much or more fun than anybody in rap right now. Like what we're doing beyond just the podcast space, we're legitimately having a lot of fun. Spitting bars, it's creating conversation, good, bad, and ugly.
Right,
you gotta love it, and I'm having fun being a part of it. And
I had a great time. We keep in mind we put out the other one the day after last week's stream, so we haven't really like we've had 2 videos come out since we last convened a meeting.
That's what I said. I'm like, damn, we dropped again.
A lot of people are angry, but to me, I mean. To me, it's like we're going in there, we're having fun. I did notice Spider-Loke always trying to create a conversation. He posted up the snippet of me rapping, and I told him, I will wash you on a track. Do you think I stand a chance? If I let Spider go first and then I go on the track after him, do you think that I could hold a candle to his crippin'?
I do.
I think that I double down on that.
Yeah.
Nah, 6 so what did the only reason that I double down on it is because, bro, he still rap with the woo with the prime at the prime at the ooh. And the play on the hubby, he's a little screw. Do. Like, you get what I'm saying?
So if I come in rapping a little bit more like a modern day jit.
Yeah, he not going to say, God damn, what happened to Virgil? Somebody tell me
my flow switch. I heard a lot about the flow switch. Thank you.
Said I said, that was the part that I liked the most. I'm like, oh, Adam getting into a little rap bag. You see how he went from his little shit to a real cadence.
But that was a weird decision because that also stood out to me as like distinctly not what Screwly G would have done on that track. Not what a drill rapper would do is like to do the flow switch. Most drill songs, no switches, same flow, every single bar, right?
Well, hold on a second.
They trying to get
the roots of Chicago goes back to a style they call sniping, which goes back to Twista, Speed Not Mobsters, Crucial Conflict.
We talking about drill music.
Hey, guess what? That's the roots of drill music right there.
How?
You feel me? Like what? How?
When you first heard
Okay,
Chief
hold
Keef,
on
did
a
you feel like,
second.
oh, this reminds me of Twista? Not me.
The fuck? Yeah.
Hold on a second. But when G Herbo will switch his cadence up, go back to his earlier records like Kill
Yeah.
Shit, go
He's
back
lyrical,
to Gangway,
But
and not only that, but flow switches,
I ain't get on.
double time
I didn't
cadences.
get on Herbo till like Balling Like Kobe.
Okay, but
The
he
mixtape.
had been doing.
Yeah. I'm just telling you. So I don't know about like Herbo. If you ask me, his impact in the scene is like at 100, but like his lyrics, I never really was a fan. I liked it back then, but like I don't like the new
A
Herbo
lot
shit.
of drill, when I go back to it, 2011 era, 2012 era, holy shit, it sucks. I'm going to be real with you. It is. I'm not saying all of it. And in particular, the hanger-ons, you know, like Chief Keef, sure. Lil Reese, sure. Fredo, sure. But a lot of the people who are like third string, fourth string, you go back to that era, dog shit.
Hold on a
It's not
second.
aged
So
well.
you
I'm going to be
say
real with you.
AOKD's shit was trash?
Honestly, I don't know. It's been a long time since I heard him.
Okay, but dudes like Pappy, you feel me?
Mm.
L.A. Capone, R.I.P. Rondo number 9, the King Lil J's older music, Duck's older music, they were killing it, bro. In fact, I'll put Shooter by King Lil J. I'll put Play for Keeps by L.A. and Rondo up against the majority of modern drill, and it's.
I guess being a gangbanger from California, I never really got into they drill music because it was like having to learn their gang culture that I really didn't care for because I got a gang culture here. It's like I know GDBD, you know, Vice Lord shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Little something, but we never really like, yeah, they had big old clips in their guns. Chief Keef and them stood out. Like we fucked with like the mainstream shit, but like digging deep into their like third string, fourth string. I
get it.
Tell you that shit.
But now the reason why I brought up Herbo is because I feel like a lot of the, you know, not necessarily the double time, but a lot of the cadences that Herbo popularized is what Jeff, is what Chucky Wackham, is what a lot of the, you know, newer generation of drill was influenced by, and I'll stand on that.
Okay, what were we talking about before you went on this diatribe?
Him sounding like Twister.
No.
Y'all
bugging.
have something to do with drill
I think you
music.
got a little too in the weeds for me there.
What essentially what I was trying to say is,
Don't make it worse.
bro.
that I don't think that you switching the cadence. I thought that was a very Chicago thing to do.
I did not feel like that sounded like modern drill sound at all. I never hear motherfuckers doing that at all.
I thought it was very Chicago from where, and on top of that, what I will say is, although my verse wasn't necessarily speaking too much on the Durk thing, I did in the spirit of Durk, in the spirit of all the, you know, Oblakians. I had to get at some of the people that had been talking shit on us. So I got at Yella, who just so happened to, you feel me, be from the other side as far as that goes. And I had some bars for Sharp. And really, to me, that's just me baiting Sharp because I hope Sharp got some more shit to say. Because I have so much shit on Sharp that I will massacre.
Sharp, I heard Sharp was like talking about you for like 2 hours the other night, but
Amazing.
I didn't see any of the clips, so I have no idea what he said. I feel like that Sharp wave is coming crashing down right now. Is the boost that he had from the No Jumper beef, it's like totally gone. It's like time just flew past him. I don't think it's like nobody wants to hear him just say the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah, just come with something at this point. Come.
I liked Adam more pre-hair plugs. You didn't know me pre-hair plugs. I had hair plugs since 2012. So fuck off. Okay, but Bricc, look at this. This is on Remo's post about your verse. Look at this. Young. This is Young. He commented a clown emoji. Remo pointed out some other dudes too. I don't understand why. Oh yeah. Well, Yella is glazing. Yella commented he went crazy though. I don't really understand why Young would comment the clown emoji, considering that, like, if you were being too disrespectful to Durk here, he would presumably be okay with that since Durk is his sworn enemy.
Yeah, All I did was say free smirk. I don't know. I didn't diss none of them, did I? I just
You
knew
did.
we wasn't gonna slide for Vine.
Nothing.
What the fuck we sliding for?
Nothing that you said even referenced like Chicago beefs.
Yeah.
You're talking about Rondo and them a little bit, but you feel me?
Have we heard from Quando about this? It's almost like he hasn't heard it and doesn't care. Very offensive.
He definitely heard it.
Okay.
He definitely understands us and us having fun also. So for him to, you know what I mean?
I think that was the problem for a lot of people, though, is that we, in their mind, shouldn't be having fun with this subject matter.
I get that.
I understand that. That would make sense to me. If I was a little closer to the situation, for sure, I would look at that song and be like, okay, this is dumb.
But it's like, it's something that honestly you're directly connected to because you know Durk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and your name was in the midst of rumory.
And I got to get off my 2 cents.
And you got to get out
rap
here.
form. Like,
right. It's like what we do is we pontificate, we give our opinions on these matters. We did the same thing, but in a lyrical way. You talked about your directing and you gave pretty much, you said the same shit you would say in the podcast, but you know what I mean?
Carlito dropped the free smirk, or where Smirk go.
I saw that. We're interviewing him
pretty
soon,
dope.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Hip. You heard it?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, no, it was pretty dope. So it's like everybody dropping and he was going bar for bar about him being with him every day and how he felt about the situation. So I don't see how anybody would feel any other type of way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't got no involvement with the case, so I could, and I'm not sitting here pointing fingers at nobody.
It's like it feels like there's a fine line between like joke rap and real rap, and people like for their shit to like fall clearly into one category or the other. So it's like if you're Lil Dicky, people are willing to accept that, and if you're Lil Durk, people are willing to accept that. But having one song in which some of the people are like purely trolling, kind of like me for the most part, and then other people are kind of being sincere. Well, you're kind of like trolling too.
But I diss Trap.
Yeah. You're going to kill him and all his friends.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If he make a documentary, I'm giving our whole angle of the OTF, like, we know we ain't fucking with Trap if he make a documentary. Everybody's gonna try. I'm gonna fuck with him. That's my boy. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking out, like,
right.
You know what I mean?
And I think, like, and I think with my verse, a lot of people got caught up in just like the sharp part. That's like the part that gets referenced the most. But you know, Yella had got at me and Adam on a track already, so what a great place to respond to him.
They're dropping a response, and Skinny was bragging about putting it on a World Star.
Yeah, he hit me up. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Shouts to them.
Bragging about putting it on World Star is crazy. Like, you are spending money to put it on World Star. That's all right. Maybe they got the free World Star upload pass. I doubt it.
Not money, not money from Flacco apparently, because I guess that dried up.
Yo, that's crazy.
I think that they got a World Star plug at this point. They ain't paying.
Because what else is World Star really doing with their channel? You know, it's like they probably can upload that because what else are they doing?
Besides finessing rappers that were relevant circa 2018.
Yeah. I mean,
they have to pay me to drop on World Star right now. I'm not giving World Star shit.
Yeah.
The fuck is that finna do? Everybody, that content shit, we figured that shit out, World Star. Y'all ate off of us for years. Nigga, that shit would not happen again.
Right, 1000%, and of course, like in my verse, I had to mention signing Sosa because I could have signed anybody at that point. I could have got a deal for someone like King Yella.
I hated on you on my stream yesterday, so I got to do it here too. Since I gave Sosa that million,
hard.
I don't know. That was
hard.
I don't know.
Hard.
That was not my favorite bar. I'm gonna be totally honest.
I'm happy with
I feel
it.
like I gotta like at least Jones on you a little bit.
Hey, you feel me? Everybody is
wow. Look at this though. Despite World Star seeming to us like it is like completely not a thing really anymore. I mean, they're doing 60 million views per month, which granted, like, you know, this is 2022. They were doing 85, 100 million, which is a lot, but 60 million, like, I mean, No Jumper does like maybe almost 20 million combined lately between the two channels. Vlad will do like 30 million.
That's their YouTube metrics right there, or what?
Yo, what the fuck are these like, how are they still gaining 100,000 subscribers many months out of the year, but like no more. Always 100,000 or zero. That is a little strange to me. That is a little. Adam, Trippie Redd is playing to sue you. What does that mean? You got my attention. What does that mean? I don't know. World Star. But you know what the weird thing is? That 60 million, number one, probably not really making them that much money because I feel like that's all
short
category, like their catalog.
It's
of
probably
shit
from like
the
videos from like 2013.
Exactly.
That are still getting views.
Because I feel like if we look at this, it's like we're going to have a hard time finding a video that has like any significant amount of views. You know, like most of these videos have like 10 or 20. You know,
Thing just did the shit. What they try to make it back a thing.
it used to be like, I mean, in 2 weeks, I mean, this guy has 144K and this guy has 100K. Man, there's still people claiming SODMG.
Travi, apparently.
That's pretty cool, I guess.
He got what you call it too. That dude, 187, what's his name? Murder.
Oh my God.
Flow.
Look at this. Boosie Badass and Spiffy Luciano.
53,000 in a month. Let's go.
Seems like that really went the way you wanted it to go, huh? Spiffy.
Spiffy how?
Spiffy how? Spiffy gay. Spiffy, man. What a fucking nerd, bro.
He had a whole post.
He did.
You think he didn't?
You want to know what? Oh my God.
I thought he was embarrassed by the song. I was like mad confused.
This is one. I just want to. I'm going to send this to Donnie so we can bring it up on the screen. But Spiffy Luciano said, he said that when we were in Atlanta, we were begging to hang out with him and Boosie.
Were you?
Do you recall that, Bricc?
Bro, come on, don't do that. Don't do
All
that, Adam, because then I have to tell the truth.
Yeah,
please.
Well,
Do we tell the truth at this point?
I heard
do we tell the truth and say that Spiffy's calling to hang out? We got too much shit to do. We giggled at him and fucked him, put him on the do not answer list.
I heard you were begging.
Wait, Donnie, I'm gonna send this to you right now because, again, okay, Spiffy's statement that I will not pull up on the channel, but he posted on his Instagram saying that we were begging to hang out with him and Boosie in Atlanta. I am now going to bring to the table the text messages that I exchanged with Spiffy Luciano while we're in Atlanta.
Spiffy how?
Spoiler, Spiffy, this is not going to be good for you. This is really not good for you. This is going to be funny.
That is crazy because we giggled at this.
Okay.
Big Spiffy.
I want to see the other one first.
Eddie's been restricted.
Huh? You can't find it on the. Yeah, you might want to exit out of this one. You could just drag up the. Let me use it. Let me exit out of this. Okay, I'm gonna exit out of it.
That stands for order the flights.
No, there. Okay, now you try. I should have sent this in earlier. My bad. Wait, no, you did it. You did the same one again. Are there multiple images?
Is the arrow on the side right there?
I don't see an arrow.
God damn it! Where that share thing.
How does this work? Can you just drag the email window up and I'll just open it like that? Aha! Here we are. All right. Let's do a little bit of an analysis here. Okay.
You and ATL link. So the first
yes
conversation is initiated.
He takes interest. He says, you in ATL link. I say, yup, what you on? This is me dubbing him. This is
for sure. That's the great area.
If you have something incredibly cool going on, I could possibly be interested. But as far as like just hanging out with you, probably not going to happen.
Of course, he wanted to come with you when we were with Drewski.
And then look,
and you guys are with young Dro and really cool people
you
at
know,
this time.
And we don't even hang out with Spiffy in LA. So why the fuck are we trying to hang out with you there? Okay, story unavailable. I don't remember exactly what he put, but he mentioned us in his story, basically like publicly trying to get us to hang out with him, right? I respond, look, today and tomorrow we got interviews pretty much all day till we leave. Do you guys remember how many interviews we actually did? Because it was
2.
only one. So me saying that we have interviews all day for the next couple of days.
You did Shorty's show and then Woody, and that's it.
We had one media day.
Okay, we had the media day at the end, and then we had the Woody day, right?
Yeah,
but so
that was it.
he says, look, he starts getting jealous. Man, I see you pulled up on King, aka T.I.'s son. We didn't pull up on him intentionally. We just went to the Trap Museum when we saw King. And he said, that's who kept FaceTiming you from my phone the other day. That's where we hang out every day. I wish I knew you was stopping out here, bro. Damn, you never link with me. I say, sorry. I just had a tight schedule in place already. So again, this is him. He claims that we were begging to hang out with him and Boosie.
Damn, you're being pretty polite, Adam.
I feel like I'm being pretty polite about dubbing you. And then, okay, it gets way worse. He says, I say, we didn't know we were going to see King. He was just at that shit. He goes, yeah, that was dope. I'll probably see y'all today or something off y'all free time. It's a full day ahead of us. It's going to be some type of time. If not, it's good. I'm going to see you soon, bruh. So this is him like really trying to press the issue of like we should hang out.
With a half threat.
Yeah. And then the bottom part, he hits me up literally like a day later. Bro,
Same day. This is still September 8th.
Do the porn business do well? I think I might get in it. I fucked the baddest bitch of my life yesterday, one of the biggest OnlyFans creators. I want to get some money out this OnlyFans shit. You should show me the way. Here's what you do. You get a boner and you jam it back and forth into her mouth and her vagina. I said, haha, shit. If you're good at it, there's money in it. Yeah. In other words, I'm not going to be the one who holds your hand and helps you waltz into the porn industry, Spiffy. You're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to figure out how to make girls like you. I know that probably seems like a Herculean effort. It's probably going to be very difficult.
Damn, you guys were begging to hang out with this guy.
Begging to hang out. Now, this is my issue, is the lying. Now, granted.
He was probably going to bring the OnlyFans bitch out with him.
But there are people like me. I'm not saying that I'm above massaging the truth and creating narratives publicly for content that maybe are a little bit outside. You lied to me, Lush, and damn, that's a chrome dome. I'm not totally outside of or opposed to, kind of taking the truth and bending it a little bit to make the content more entertaining. But that motherfucker, Spiffy Luciano, you're a dirty, rotten liar, because we just read those texts. There is nothing in those DMs that is in any way comparable to us begging to hang out with you and Boosie. Number one, I didn't use the word Boosie. I didn't mention Boosie, nor did you. I don't think. Yeah. And beyond that, I didn't say anything. I was polite about the fact that clearly we didn't want to hang out with you. But I didn't say anything about hanging out with you. I didn't make it sound like that was my goal at all.
The fact that you're 35 hanging with King every day, crazy.
In a parking lot.
Crazy.
Just hang like
I wasn't even gonna give up.
Man,
there's not a shot at King, but like there's a
King's great.
That's
He's
his
parking
age.
lot.
King's dad owns
the parking lot,
and the building, and then there's like a little table outside. And granted, like this was a very, very hectic, hot weekend in Atlanta. There's a lot of shit going on. Yeah. So King is just out there posted up. He's fresh. He got his big ass white tee. He got his jean shorts. He got a blick on him. He got weed. It seemed like he was selling some weed, I think. So,
he's just being a great kid.
He's just being a good dude. He's hanging out. Spiffy, you're hanging out with a little kid, cloud chasing off his ass. I don't know, man. This is some weird shit. But now he's like, that level of lying is not acceptable in the content space. We will expose you, and then you will be permanently forever smeared as a liar. And Sharp, you're in the exact same fucking category, because you know what I exposed yesterday on the stream? I watched a Sharp clip. He's saying that ever since I found out that he was fucking with Damn Homie, that I started treating him different.
That's why.
And so then
when you start cracking bitches that you didn't have no action at, P.
Yeah.
Sharp. So then Damn Homie calls in, or I think I called her. She texted me and then I called her. She sends me a link to a video that she had already made, in which she makes it perfectly clear that in the 6 or 7 years of knowing her, I've never hit on her, never did some creepy shit, never acted weird to her at all. It's completely made up when he says that shit. When he says that I was with that I was thirsty and then I wanted to fuck her so bad and I acted weird to Sharp after he started fucking with her. Like that. Sharp, you're a dirty, rotten liar. Way beyond anything I would ever do. So we are not playing on an even playing field, you dirty, rotten liar. Nobody should trust you about anything ever, you fucking scumbag.
I think that's somebody that's won the Pimp of the Year award. You feel me? At the local, you feel me? Northern San Diego.
Well, I think that is that is like the big Pimp of the Year award to win, but he allegedly paid for it.
A 2-time Pimp of the Year award winner with a female's name in his mouth about another dude that she liked better. The fact that you're even referencing that, the fact that even affects
He's
your
not
je ne
saying
sais-
that was the only bitch.
Okay.
He said that it was other bitches too.
I would
Just to
love
make
to
it
know.
clear.
Upset about?
I would love to
No,
know.
that's what he said. I'm just telling you. I had watched that too.
I don't
So,
think that there's
My
any
bad, Johnny Cochran.
I don't think there's any girl that I even knew of Sharp to have fucked throughout his entire time here for me to even get jealous about it. Like,
Yeah.
who else?
Yeah, I don't know.
I assume he's hanging out with chicks.
He said it was bitches outside because he said, yeah, you wanted to fuck her. He said, then I was telling you about other bitches that you had. I don't know if he said the name directly or whatever, but he was trying to act like it was multiple bitches, and that's when you start distancing yourself.
Who? Tell me who. Because
But damn homie definitely is who popped into my head immediately, so I don't know who else.
I remember when he told me, and I think he even showed me videos of him piping damn homie, and I
I
remember.
don't think he should.
I think he did.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Damn.
What a development that is.
it was probably
I
a
know
sneak
about that.
shot. He probably pulled out his phone while he was hitting it. And he's probably starts filming it. But either way, it's like the reason why that stood out to me so much is because throughout his whole time here, I never knew of him to be fucking with any girls. I never knew one girl that he was fucking with besides like he brought a girl around one time, I think.
Uh-huh.
And that also stood out to me a lot of like, oh, okay, he actually does have girls. But the damn homie thing stood out to me because that was the only time that there was like a girl I knew that it turned out he was fucking with.
Honestly, it makes me sad, like seeing Sharp having interactions with quote unquote regular women, aka women that don't slang cat. He doesn't really know how to properly interact. He doesn't like. It's like he's so far removed from basic interaction skills.
And that was the reaction that I heard from every single girl that he ever met that I had around was like they were never impressed and they were always a little weirded out. Let's just be real.
Like,
And I implore everybody out there, like think about the top 10 women in your life and how they would probably react if they were to be introduced to Sharp. Probably it wouldn't exactly be like, wow, I'm gonna throw some pussy at him.
yeah.
It would probably be more like, wow, that guy is odd.
Aggressive.
Has he brushed his teeth in the past 4 months? Is probably
Brick
gonna
baby,
be
go
the-
brush your teeth. I'm sorry.
And as far as Spiffy goes,
You rapped about him getting raped.
You said what?
You rapped about Big Sad getting raped in prison, so I feel like I could quote that.
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck.
He did hit me up and he was like, damn, I thought me and Brick were cool.
We are.
But you're rapping about him being anally
He
raped in
can't-
prison?
Yeah, I was saying like I posted some trysts with Big Sad. The paperwork was all bad.
He could never
I mean,
walk the
the
yard.
yard,
There'd be
the Vaseline.
Vaseline in his ass.
I'm saying if he go to jail right now and try to walk the main line and stay, it'll be a problem.
people
think?
wouldn't be too psyched
It's
about
too much paperwork. It's too much. He good, like as a rapper on the street, whatever he doing, they got it figured out right here. But like when that paperwork getting the mix of like that, the politics, nah.
I mean, beyond paperwork, there's
But that's my, he cool.
there's
That's why
video footage.
I did mean to DM him before the song came out. Like I did take a shot at you, but I was saying rap back, nigga.
and that's
You
exact-
dissed me a long time ago. They been wanting me to diss you back, so now I'm back in the field. It's like rap back,
And
like,
that-
I'm not over here really trying to diss you like that.
Right. You have a different attitude about dissing people in songs though, where like you kind of look at it as like it's all fun. Like,
It is all fun.
You should just take it as fun.
If I'm rapping about it, then I'm not planning on doing shit.
But I
to
feel like
you,
most people
guess.
don't really take it that way. I feel like most people take it more serious.
But they should in 2024, considering like the climate and the fact that diss tracks are gaining so much traction, and being
I
successful.
ain't never made a diss track and mentioned a nigga name in it when it was Smoke. So don't think I'm about to just start doing it now. Like,
Yeah,
you
right.
get what
That
I'm
one
saying?
song
Like,
where you dissing the Hoovers and shit, that old one.
but I didn't say
Oh.
nobody's name. That was going back to Slauson. That's what we was
Slauson,
on
you
that.
bitches.
That is a hard song, but that was like, whoa. Like,
And we're screaming fuck. And we're screaming fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have put a verse on that song. I'm gonna be real.
What
with
a
you.
great song, though.
Nah.
That is an original LA Drill rap record.
Yeah.
That is the precursor to LA Drill. If
I
people
was-
want to look at the trajectory,
That's too real, man.
I give you that.
I
And the
can
beat,
enjoy
all that.
Billionaire versus Screwly G. I like, I'm not gonna like drive around bumping something that's really going hard on the neighborhoods out here,
Yeah.
it's a little close to home, right?
Yeah, it just
yeah.
feels a little bit. It's like listening to somebody rap about killing a random person versus somebody rapping about killing like somebody you know.
Yeah.
And
But
just to clarify, before
I wasn't going name for name. Now I'm going name for name. Like
Right.
that, I was 5.
you're
I
dissing
was
hoods.
gangbanging. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gangbanging. I was dissing hoods. You already know I'm from 60, so it's fuck y'all.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So me saying it in the record, it don't make it no worse. I'm outside right now.
But the homie, but me and my buddies, when we heard that, we're like, this is different.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
not.
It
You're not really
definitely
hearing
was
the
a twisted approach.
It's great.
That's what that Molly,
Great record. With that being said, the one person I really have no smoke for is Katie Got Bands that I dissed. But
Did you hear a reaction about that?
no, did she have a reaction?
I
No.
didn't hear anything.
But I brought her up because I want her to be reinserted into the conversation. So
Going at you might be the thing that would do the
bring her
trick.
back.
Well, no, I'm not even saying that. At least she's mentioned, and now if she wants to say some shit, cool, because she's that's the queen of drill. I love Katie.
I
You
love Katie
keep
Got
playing
Bands.
Lush as a rapper right now, Adam.
Right.
I keep seeing you like humbling him every time that he feels like he's.
I'm not trying to humble him. I'm
just-
supporting him.
You say, hey, you dissed one of his bars.
Yo,
and then
look
you
at this,
said,
though.
Oh, you
Ka-
think she's gonna?
Katie Got Bands.
Hey, my shit was fire. Okay.
Katie Got Bands has not released a video on her channel in 8 years.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a fucking eternity.
Lil Bitch was such a good record. I like featuring Lil Durk.
Dreezy had took her spot, and then she had just.
Dreezy is a significantly better rapper than
Yeah,
Katie. But I
yeah.
mean, Dreezy's also a better rapper than anybody in Chicago.
Oh, I forgot Vlad interviewed her a couple of years ago.
That's the last time we saw Katie.
Auntie.
And that's why I said uglier than Katie Got Bands. If you want to, if you disagree with what I said, look at the thumbnail.
You think that's ugly? Yeah, that's not her best.
She look like Crib
She
Mac.
could have done better than a hoodie.
She's dope rapper.
This Crib Mac right there. If he was a girl.
I got mad love for Katie Got
I
Bands. Wait,
love
I
Katie.
do too. I was a Katie
Katie!
fan.
damn, she went on DJU and got. Oh yeah, that's like a clip. That's not like the whole thing. But she has like multiple music channels that would appear. This is a different one. Oh, it's still 8. Yeah, the song with
She never
Gunplay.
did numbers.
I mean,
No, Lil Bitch. Look up Lil
she
Bitch.
did, but okay, it's not on this channel. It's on.
It was more than 8 years ago.
Yeah,
8 years.
Look
is
up
what?
Katie Got Bands, Lil Bitch. That
What's
shit.
that?
has-
8 years ago.
The unfortunate
17?
thing though is that even her biggest songs probably aren't gonna be that big. 400K with King Louis.
That's cool though. At least.
Span the band
That's
on
a lot.
fashion.
Oh, but you got to give it to. We was dropping on World Star shit more.
Wow, that's no.
This song only has 13K.
Really?
The song you told us to look up. I can't even remember the name of the song that originally blew her
You
up.
gotta
That's her
think,
biggest record.
Hold on, hold
The
on.
remix with G Herbo.
Listen, you got to think it probably was a mixtape record. The numbers you probably was listening to it on live mixtapes or one of those
Yeah.
websites. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the main shit was dropped through World Star or Pitchfork or something else to where you won't be able to see the views on their page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
we were
just
giving our
searched
shit
for
away
it to
back
the.
then.
I think if it was on World Star or something, we would be able to find it. But I mean, random channels get taken down and shit. But either way, Lush, I think it's very important that we dive into this.
Yeah, let's. Oh.
Lush and his girl are for sure smokers. You gonna lose your teeth again, Lush. Slow down, my boy. This is a screenshot from her most recent video that is purporting to be a meth pipe. That's what this appears to be.
It absolutely is.
And this is foil, I believe. So this raises the question.
No, it's
Lush,
a pizza with Xanax on it.
it's
see-
it's a pizza with
It's a slice
Xanax
of pizza
and a
with
meth
Xanax.
pipe.
No, the meth pipe's next to the pizza, actually.
Okay. Besides the desecration of a valuable piece of pizza and valuable Xanax, what Do you smoke meth
No.
at all?
I've smoked meth twice or 3 times in my life. I've done a good amount of meth.
Who's smoking meth?
Nobody's smoking meth.
Then why is there a meth pipe?
Because it's dope for the video. So all right, since we want to talk about it.
Yeah, air it out, because I don't know if I buy that excuse.
No, check game.
Check in.
Check in. So my girl, Germ Free, aka Bang Bang, has an album that she's dropping called Shadow Work. And one of the prevailing themes of the album is drug addiction and being able to circumvent and survive while being addled with this, you know.
So she's like a method actor. She's actually doing meth so she can rap about it better.
Well, there's no, it was completely, so I co-directed this video and it was my idea for her to use the meth pipe as a microphone because I thought it was compelling imagery. It's nothing that hasn't been seen, you know, and if you go look at any SoundCloud era rap video, it's nothing crazy. Damn near, it's almost stereotypical having Xanax on a pizza at this point. We saw Steve Cannon in the Xanman video having Xanax on a donut
you
in
used to like
2013.
that's one thing we need to bring back. Side note is that you remember you would go to like a underground rap show in downtown LA and the flyer would have like a bunch of clouds and a bunch of Xans and some walk hard bottles and all that shit, and it would be like, you know, that there's just gonna be a bunch of goth girls there and shit. I miss that.
Yeah,
but okay, so you're saying
I miss all the warehouse parties.
My girl is one of those goth girls.
Okay, but you're saying that you went and procured a meth pipe, a single piece of pizza, and a bunch of Xans, and you arranged them. And also, is this testosterone?
Oh no, that's a Xanax bottle. That's like when you go into that's a Mexican.
That's a
Xanax.
Mexican. That's a
they
fake
call those
Xanax
TLRs, not Trap Laura Ross, Tijuana Life Ruiners. That's a bottle of Tijuana Life.
Those are fake.
Yeah, they you know, they got a little, they con queso.
You're putting Play-Doh Xans on the pizza.
No, they're not fake like that.
No, they Mexican.
They got a little kick. They just
but anyone who goes to Mexico, you know that you'll see the pharmacies and it'll have a list on the outside of all the drugs that you can just walk in and buy. And on that list are a bunch of drugs that normally you have to go to the black market to purchase in sunny Los Angeles.
Pharmacia.
It says testosterone, Xanax, fucking.
So the Xanax for mine, because I take Xanax and the meth pipe, I procured.
The
for
meth
the
pipe
video.
isn't burnt, I think.
It's not. No, that's like that's fine. It's not. But was, if you watch the video, you might see people smoking meth in the video. I suggest people just look up Germ Free Bittersweet, produced by Benji Rowe.
What?
Great record, and just check out the video.
You might see. So did y'all have Jay? Check out the video, y'all. We'll check it out.
You believe him?
But no, look,
I don't know. I did at first. So
I mean,
you might see people smoking meth in the video.
I just want to know, because then I had some people hit me up, sending me this link to the Reddit,
later,
and people were telling me that they think that Lush is like a meth head, and like, oh, this explains his behavior. And I'm like, I feel like he's not like you might give off a little bit of a methy vibe, but like not like a full blown.
You give off like an Adderall vibe.
Exactly, but you never.
That's good.
Adderall and meth, you know,
It's the
similar
same shit.
compounds.
I've never taken meth on this podcast or prior to this podcast in the entirety of but I've taken ecstasy. I've taken
On here.
Adderall. Yeah,
That's meth.
Yeah, so you know,
Ecstasy is meth.
METHOD, man. But nah.
Crazy. Okay, so we cleared that up.
As long as you guys
That's a clip.
As long as you guys are happy with
Let me just title it: Adam confronts Lush about his alleged meth abuse.
Look, hey,
smoking on that ecstasy.
Hey.
I mean, I really wanted to know. I figured I would ask you on here and let the world in on it.
As long as
fucked up though, bro.
As long as you guys are happy with my
I already know you're on meth.
As long as you guys are happy with my performance on the podcast, I'll smoke as much meth as you want.
I never know what the Bricc Baby concoction is on any given day.
Yeah.
Some people seem to think that I'm the one actually administering whatever you're on.
Nah, man. It's just, you know, whatever lands in the bottle, lands in the bottle.
Don't ask me about my cup.
Yeah.
It's my cup.
It's my cup.
It's my cup.
Hey, dickhead.
Get your mind right.
Don't preach to me about my perky habit.
This is my life.
Come on.
Free J.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, my concoction is for sure a perk every day. But I mean, the whole world could see I slowed down on drugs, right?
30 a day?
Nah,
10 a day?
maybe like a 60 ball.
2 30s. If you were going to do 2 30s in a day, what time would you take each? Like 10
Go
a.m.?
like
You start real early?
Half.
Oh, you spread it out like that.
I
Yeah.
think that me and Bricc are like clearly in way better like state of mind when it comes to our drug use than we were a few months ago.
Yeah.
And anybody that can't see that,
Yeah. I'm about to say like a 45 on a regular day.
Okay.
Like half, maybe around noon, half. You know.
I was having a conversation with a dad the other day, and he asked me like if I still got fucked up, and I was like, not really, but I really like perks. And he looked at me like I was a total piece of shit. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep that to myself from now on, because it's like I do it so infrequently that to me it's like nothing.
Nothing. Like I take one every now and then.
But he just looked at me like I was just like not a good dude.
I assume he's referring to alcohol and smoking weed when he says fucked up.
Yeah, we were talking because I was talking about how I kind of pulled back on the weed thing, which is weird. I haven't smoked a spliff in a fucking month. Which, to be totally clear, the weed pen is still part of my life, and I have bummed exactly 2 cigarettes in the last month, which to me is basically no cigarettes.
Yeah.
But
You haven't been gasping as much either, though.
I know I feel good in that regard.
Yeah.
I'm just smoking this sharp, not major. You feel me?
I feel like you can't smoke on someone until they're dead.
Oh, I thought podcast wise.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, they smoking on the Yankees.
You got a Keyway hoodie on?
It says
K-Way.
that, right? Nah, this is a CDG joint.
Oh, I got a crazy bar in my head that rhymes like Keyway, Leeway. I forget what the other one was.
G-Face?
Not bad. Yeah. That's pretty good right there. Yeah.
The real G-Face.
Okay. A lot has happened. This is a real topic. Let's get into a real topic. A lot has happened. I might need a cigarette for this. Boys?
Your third cigarette?
Not that one. Not that brand.
Your third cigarette?
Don't show me on the camera. Treat me like Rogan when he's smoking weed. Don't show me. Just kidding. I don't care. But while we were in the middle of the Whack podcast on Thursday, it comes out, boom, Young Thug is about to be released. Crazy update. Nobody saw it coming. The news was coming in fast and furious. There was like Twitter posts that were going viral, acting like, oh, he just turned down a deal. He's about to stay in for another 25 years. And then it comes out, boom, he's home.
I told you in them texts, though, I'm like, he about to come home right now.
That's crazy. How do you feel about that? And like, what do you think of his plea deal as a person who's spent so much time around? Do you think that he could stay off drugs and weed for 15 years?
It'll lighten up. I know how the judge put it is how the judge put it. Now, when the state gets it, they'll give you like another probated period of like 5 years. If you do it clean, you up for early termination.
Well, wasn't there another stipulation that said that he can't even go to Atlanta?
You can't go to
Metro
metropolitan
Atlanta, like,
Atlanta. Yeah.
Inner city of Atlanta. So like he could be in Buckhead still.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can't be down there.
Because that's a crazy stipulation, right?
Could he go to Mechanicsville and look for a transmission? That's what I would do.
Essentially, that's why they probably don't want him in the area. I think they said it. He has properties in California that he'll go to. He doesn't have to be in Atlanta. So they were basically saying they're going to transfer to probation, which to me is a better move. And you don't know if it's stipulated in his paperwork a piss test, because in California, they really don't. That's not.
They're not
You know what I'm
tripping.
saying?
You can smoke weed, and if you have a prescription,
Whatever it is. So it's like a little bit. Our shit is a little bit.
More
I'm not
lenient.
gonna say it's cooler, but
it's more lenient.
it's lenient
Yeah.
because our laws against drugs.
That's what I was thinking, because when I looked at the agreement, the plea deal, I was like, it specifically mentions marijuana and stuff. And I was just thinking, like, this has to get scaled back over the course of 15 years, right? Like, I'm assuming when he took this deal that he's not really expecting that all of these things are actually going to last for 15 years.
Now, if he catches COVID and
Medicinal marijuana.
and they give him lean,
oh.
now how can you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now, how can you fight that? Now, if it gives me long-term bronchitis or something to do, like, you get what I'm saying?
No, there's medical conditions that will override.
You get
whatever.
what I'm saying? I've been in there for 3 years on the bunk, 4 years on the bunk, my back hurt.
But Georgia is one of the states that has stringent laws when it comes to marijuana. They're not legal yet, correct? Like
I believe, yeah, right.
Yeah, I know it's like a federally
you get a ticket if it's under 28 grams.
They're not tripping, but like it's essentially like the way California was in 2007, 2008, whatever. Like it's not as cool as it is now, as where they might give you a hard time over some weed, and it would probably be, like you said, in his best interest to try to get it transferred to California if that's on the table for him.
People used to come to California and buy bags and think that it was. I'm like, bro, they will try to fry you over some weed out here. It's not legal like that. Like in 08, 09 and shit. Like, all right, get caught with the bags, nigga. You gonna do some time.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's super fascinating that the first clip that we all saw of Young Thug was on T.I.'s Instagram. Let's pull that up.
They did a live together, right?
Did they? I just saw a clip of like a quick clip of them.
I know how much of a stand-up guy Tip is. I know that you got to people probably played a big part.
Back Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no motherfucker, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my rap.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
Hey.
Hey man, what you got to tell?
Thug looking like Lucky nowadays.
It's so weird.
T.I. retired.
That's T.I. showing a lot of like how much clout he has that nobody else, like Thug's probably surrounded by dozens of different people and none of them were allowed to put him up on their Instagram story, but Tip shows up, he gets the exclusive.
Nobody qualifies on paper either.
Right.
No gang members, no this, no that. Like everybody he knows is on paperwork from the case.
Yeah.
And remember, he has probably a decent relationship with the court system or whatever, because he had to do all those anti-drug ads after his case and all that. And let's also look at the fact that T.I. is the first big artist to actually feature Young Thug. And if it ain't about the money, don't be on the money.
Was that the first big artist?
Yes. I want to say that's early 2014 they made that record. That was like
outside of Gucci Mane, right?
Outside of Gucci Mane, who like T.I. at the time was actually, because Gucci was locked up by the time those records were coming out. Because yeah, the first time most people heard Thug was on the Trap House 3 album on the song Off the Leash, which Pee Wee Longway was on as well. Yeah. And that's the first time most people heard Thug. However, the first, T.I. was a considerably more mainstream artist at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
So him doing those records hit a little different.
I went to a video shoot for T.I. and Thug for a song that didn't really make much noise when it came out. You know the Batman studio in LA? It's got like all the panels on the roof that like can change colors and stuff.
Was that the War song they did? Was it called War?
It might have been. I don't remember.
Because they had two, right? They had the If It Ain't About the Money, and they had War. And the War song is fucking incredible. Great record and a great video, but it never really blew up.
That was also the day I met Big U and Gunna.
Oh yeah,
yeah. T.I. Young Thug.
I got a question
music
for. I want your guys' both opinion, but I do want all about about the
this
money.
one Ring.
Okay.
I mean, 15 million
I Need
views.
War is the one I was talking about.
I didn't hear a lot about
this,
but 15 million views speaks for itself. I'm in the dark.
Went crazy.
Which isn't a lot, though. If you think about T.I. and Young Thug, that's like decent.
Okay, and
T.I. and Young Thug in 2020.
That's from yeah.
T.I. did not retire. He just said that he's no longer performing, and he doesn't like the vibe of going on stage and being treated like a circus animal or some shit. It was basically the gist I got from that statement that he put out.
Well, yeah, and that's like as he continues on his woke trajectory, understandable.
I mean, I get it. If you're rich and you've been in this game for a long ass time, at a certain point, it probably does feel kind of dehumanizing to get in front of a crowd to a certain extent.
The numbers ain't adding up to him, so that's probably why he's saying it like that. Like, I'm making this amount off of reality TV and this, that, and the other. Then you turn around and you want to give me 10, 15,000 for a concert.
Because that's why T.I. stopped doing the podcast.
He had
a podcast, yeah. And then he stopped doing it. And I think like when I heard him talk about it, I was like, oh yeah, he's not used to getting money this slowly,
Yeah.
building something up over time, and it probably was smart on his part if he felt like it didn't really jive with the lifestyle that he wanted to be living, you know?
Well, because like he had reality shows, he probably had big budgets for all that, and then like when he's performing, people want to hear "Money House 24." They don't want to hear like whatever
The new shit.
No,
Yeah.
If I saw T.I., that's what I
Come
want to
on,
hear.
bro. I mean,
If
that
it's past
drop
the King
top,
album,
hit the roof wide open. Got my powder, sir.
Thank you. I feel like this is a really important question, and especially for you, but for everybody. Do we owe Gunna an apology? Gunna wanna
Well, who?
the streets, the world.
Because, all right, just to put out the
They
trajectory.
say I've been defending Gunna the whole time.
So, okay, at
Speak on
first, Thug asked for a stipulation that he would be able to continue to interact with Young Thug. So we all see that. You see the Twitter commentary go nuts. People are saying, oh, look, Thug wants to be around Gunna. So obviously, like, all these people torch their relationships with Gunna. And as a result, look how stupid they look. Thug still wants to hang out with them. Then one of his first tweets, he stipulates, he says, wham, let's do this on these rats. So he's speaking to Lil Baby and saying, let's do a song on these rats. And a lot of people took that as him siding with Lil Baby in reality.
So you said, let's drop a song on these rats, Peter?
Thug has said that?
Yeah.
Jeff said that?
It was something
rats?
along those lines.
I didn't know you said rats.
We can pull up the exact ones. Young Thug.
Whatever Jeff says, I'm rocking with, by the way, guys.
I'm calling
on
him
these
Jeff.
Rats, Peter.
That's like a girl calling Skrillex Sonny.
No, Jeff is
Wham.
The
Let's
right-
drop one on these rats, Peter. And right before that, he said, real plea deal, Jack. I was surprised by this one because this one, you know, let's drop one on these rats. It just feels like, given that he just spent all these years away from his friends and family, and given that there's so many stipulations, that he wouldn't want to immediately come out and just start calling people rats, because who knows how the court might look at that. I was a little surprised by this energy, but
It's time to finesse the internet.
Can we clarify what Peter means?
He been finessing the internet. Peter.
What's
Jack?
Peter?
Jack,
That's like Jack.
Peter?
Peter's just any guy.
Yeah, we not gonna do all that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at this Twitter hot streak. 3 tweets in a row. 300K, 300K, 250K. That's a lot of friggin' likes. Let's be real. That's crazy. Do you think Thug will be around Woody? Well, he
No,
can't, right?
for sure
So that
not.
definitely can't. You
For
think he'll
sure
show
not.
him love in any way?
So basically, overall, I already did like a video about that shit. You get what I'm saying?
What'd your video
and,
say?
And I'm about to give before I drop it, I just give it here. So overall, it's gonna be a lot of people that gotta apologize to Gunna in order. If Thug, okay, so just because it was stipulated in his paperwork, meaning they have business with each other or whatever, it could be on the lowest key of kicking it. You never know, right?
Right.
But just say that it's on the highest key of kicking it. Now,
What's the highest key of kicking it look like?
like back to
We're in
when
the studio together.
Yeah, every
Okay.
day. Because if I could be around you, that means that there's no limit of what we could do. And then if he comes back west, it's rumored that Gunna lives out this way too. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? Like both of them out here. So it's like you got all these people that's gonna be meat riding, bro, but they done already said they statement and created that distance with Gunna.
So we
now-
all got to apologize again. Long story short to the question, right? Like
I didn't really take a stance one way or the other. I figured it was always
no, when I say we, I mean
the streets.
the people. Yeah, I'm not referring to you specifically.
Right,
Like,
right.
So you said that Gunna was a rat at some point.
No,
Okay. Because I've
been saying we owe Gunna an
the
apology.
same shit. The whole time I just been saying the same shit. Like he took a plea deal too early. Anybody that pleads out on this case is gonna plea out to gang charges with YSL. And what I said was what happened. And I said, hey, we can't say what Young Thug and Gunna gonna do. We gotta wait till the case over. and see what Young Thug views Gunna as, and then we roll with it.
A lot of
That's
people
exactly
were.
what it-
That was the stance.
okay.
A lot of people
Yeah.
took. Yeah.
Yeah,
So not only was that my stance, my other stance was even if Gunna's a rat, he's still a better rapper than like 99% of y'all.
100%.
And that's and that's what I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna make a firm stance until Young Thug comes home. Young Thug is home. We see what it is. I think a lot of people need to get some fucking, you feel me, serious knee pads on.
Did you
and-
see Los Angeles TV?
No, what?
He had pulled up on YG, Gunna, and it was who did he troll? He pulled up on YG, he pulled up on Gunna, and it was somebody else, but he was with Kevin Lyles. Gunna was,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "How many people you snitch on this week?"
Kevin Lau said that?
Nah,
No.
The little
dude,
scandalous guy?
Yeah, and he was like, Kevin Lyles, like, "Come on, man," da, da, da. But Gunna, like, he kept it regular. I mean, he knows what to do. And then he got up on YG like, "How you riding around in a Rolls Royce with 5,000 sales, blood?" He said, "You need to be riding around in a Honda."
To be fair, I think I saw this,
That's
and
pretty funny.
I think I saw this and then realized it was fake, or somebody said it was fake.
Oh, it was like a voiceover.
Yeah, because look, Gunna confronted and called a rat
No,
of the
he-
No,
Beach.
beach.
not
was.
that one.
He
It's
really
a new
was.
one. It's a new one.
No, someone did really say he was a rat.
It's a new one from like yesterday.
But
For
that
real?
don't
Do you know what page you saw it on?
I think it was on YouTube.
I feel like,
but it was
well,
Los
I mean, we could
Angeles.
just search YouTube as well.
Yeah. It was somebody.
Just search Gunna rat. Oh, does Boosie owe him apology?
Yeah, Boosie.
Gunna gets. Oh, that's a year ago.
Stiffy, you owe him an apology on behalf of.
Because YG, they did. It had to be a voiceover though, because
Yeah.
YG was with his kid in the car,
Right.
and I'm like, yeah, nigga ain't that cutthroat.
Yeah. That dude is definitely a cap artist, so it doesn't surprise me if he was faking it. But okay, my other primary question about this situation. So Thug took a plea deal, and from what I understand, if he had been willing to wait 3 more months, he would have been able to take it to trial. And that actually is what Yak Gotti is doing.
Is taking it to trial in his best interest.
I mean, clearly Yak Gotti felt like it was a smart decision for him, but
Because they probably got Yak roll and all
what I'm
this
saying.
effed up. Like he probably don't have nothing to do with what they want him to plea out to,
right.
and he ain't trying to take that on his record.
Interesting.
Because at the end of the day, Thug's dad is mad that he plead out. Thug's dad wanted him, not mad, but he was like, I told him to keep fighting, but Brian Steele, my son, said that they came to a deal that they was cool with, they was comfortable with. I told him I'm with him, I'm rocking with him, but I'd rather him fight it to the end. Because he had him. He had him by the balls. The jury come on, they the one that's about to deliver the sentence. They tired of that shit. You see, they're watching the circus. Don't think that they're not watching it.
Right.
If he could have thugged it out and got a more favorable situation, that I understand why people would say that, but at the same time, we don't really know if because it seemed like the prosecution's entire case was in shambles.
But and also, like, it's easy for us sitting on the outside to be like, why wouldn't he just wait an extra 3 months
That's exactly what I was about to say.
maybe be able to dodge the harsh probation terms? But for a guy who is like pretty much wasted the last 3-4 years of his life sitting behind bars, got kids, got a girl, all this shit,
Bro.
like, you know, he was dying to get home.
Bro, they was mad at Gunna for taking that deal. Go to a nigga cell and say, go home today. You ain't got to tell on nobody or nothing. You just got to plea out to these charges. Man, they gonna be like, go home. When?
So,
Like, hold on, let me see if the homies, like, I know the check for the rest of the shit, right? But they told Thug, go home today. What'd he do? Hey, shit, what we doing? At the end of the day, when you plea out, you have to plea out to the charges that's trumped up against you. So it's like you got if they saying that he had to plea out of 1 out of the 3 gang charges. So essentially, he did the same shit that Gunna did, right?
But like 2 years later.
So people,
Yeah, but they worded it a different way to not embarrass him, like to not make it sound crazy to the world. But it's like shit, we playing out to Yeah, all right, boom, 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 boom. Like, yeah, they worded Gunna shit a little bit worse, so it sounds crazy.
So with that being said, one word answer: do the streets owe an apology to Gunna? Yes or no?
No, because to me, even if Thug fully embraces Gunna based on a hardcore view of what is snitching and what isn't, I believe that Gunna would still be viewed as, guilty in the eyes of most people, right?
You say no. You say.
I'm saying the people that's going around Thug is gonna have to. That's the only way they're gonna be cool with him. But as far as like, it's apology is like crazy. But like, do people need to lighten up on the rap word? Maybe.
Is Gunna a rat? Yes or no?
No, not to me, because I know what a plea deal is. You get what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. I just want
He didn't get interrogated and offer information inside of to the detective or nothing. It's like, I didn't give you no new information. You didn't. It wasn't like Woody where you got me for 2-3 hours right here telling my whole life. And there's like several other people on the case.
If it's within the good
real interrogations.
If their lawyers work something out and it's within the good graces of Thug and everybody else associated with him, I don't see how it's a negative thing that he did in any capacity. That's it.
If Thug and Gunna are going to be back on good terms, we're going to know very soon. However, I still feel like from a street perspective, it doesn't really matter what Thug does, that people are going to use it against Gunna to judge him a certain way regardless, right?
Because they already said what they said. It's a gang of people who said what they said that's not going to turn back on their word.
No, yeah, and like you said, apology is a strong word, but really what I meant to say is, do people have a different perspective on it now that, you know what I mean?
I mean, at this point, I don't think that nobody in this whole situation is trying to be appeasing to the streets and what the streets are talking about after they just came out of these situations where their whole life was up for grabs and they was just millionaires balling in Rolls Royces and shit every day, and they got their whole shit snatched from them. So it's like, at this point, they gonna be moving different regardless of how whoever thinks. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Gunna and Thug gonna be on the road together, it'll be up to the fans that if you want to come out and rock with us, cool. This what we doing. It ain't about, hey, is this cool with y'all? Because being cool with y'all just took my whole life from me.
That make a lot of sense. Is some water in here? I'm gonna get some water. You guys want some water?
I'm good. My thing,
Make me some oatmeal.
My thing is that,
all right, rack me up some of that Bristol.
listen, this is how the internet works. People say the craziest shit ever, and then they never apologize ever. Like, I've never seen it happen. Like,
at all.
Like look at the Diddy thing. Let's say, like, fast forward a couple of years, and it seems like Diddy's been mostly exonerated. Everybody who tweeted about Diddy, they're not fucking rushing to Twitter to say, hey, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
It never goes that way.
It's too easy to just ignore it and just keep moving, because there's like, the internet moves so fast that people aren't really going to line up
anymore.
And yeah, maybe if pressed, people might, but also it's so easy. There's always two sides to every story and two different like competing narratives now. So it's so easy for people to, even something that to me is very like in your face and obvious, like January 6th. Motherfuckers tried to storm the Capitol.
Exactly.
And Trump basically incited them to do so. Even if you're a Trump fan, I feel like if you're being honest, you should be able to admit that.
Run for president.
But now there's two competing narratives. I've heard countless conservative people try to argue in debates, including with Destiny, who did an epic Jubilee 25 versus 1 or whatever the other day. I've heard countless people try to paint the narrative of like, that was not a big deal. That was not an insurrection. That was whatever. So it's like people just live in their own reality. And even if, let's say it was 100% proven that Diddy was not guilty of all the bad shit that people said about him, people are still going to be able to create their own reality in which like he wasn't treated fairly by the court, and
for sure
he's still guilty regardless. You know, people are very, very good at creating their own reality.
For sure. And they've already, like I said, once somebody speaks their piece and they think you're going down, they're already showing what they truly think of you. So it'd be like, oh, I say sorry to you just so you can say fuck me. Like, your sorry means nothing over here. So it's like, what the fuck is the point of saying sorry? And then if you do have a platform that matters, you saying sorry is not about to get the same traction as you saying fuck you.
Exactly.
We all know this. So it's like, at this point, I never said it. I'ma just get out the way, and then it's like the only people that are like they want to get back in the conversation by saying sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like they have something where they need a connection with the artist in order to be sorry for it.
Even on a personal level, I've seen a lot of people saying, including people that seem like they're somewhat close to Durk, that the narrative about Jam wearing a wire / being a snitch is not accurate. It all stems from like some random page that posted this, that it wasn't a well-vetted accusation and shit. And it's like, even on my part, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go fucking edit that song? Like, I will issue a full frontal apology if that actually is how this goes. Look at Lush. Wait. I got to get a picture.
Sign in. See what the fuck going on,
3 waters in a bomb.
You see what the fuck going on, man? For my brothers, I love y'all.
I got a water. You guys can leave the water. I stay with a gallon.
Ooh.
Not actually a gallon.
Hey, way to flex. Sorry, Stanley Cup.
But I would like to, in advance, apologize to OTF Jam if all this shit is overblown. Now, granted, that's probably the least of your worries since you're still implicated in a murder conspiracy. But
Jam told.
I would Jam told. A lot of people like that. I started out with that. I would just like to make it clear, I don't want to be throwing somebody into that if it's not
who cleared it up though? It's just we can't find it for sure.
I don't even want to try to look it up right now because I'm gonna have to search. I'm gonna have to check my sources and everything. I don't know.
But somebody cleared it up. Somebody from the OTF squad cleared it up. Like that Jam shit crazy.
Nobody.
Oh,
because I'm just saying, like somebody close by that is doing like any type of post. Because like Zoo will post little shit from now and then, and he'd be like, "Man, y'all crazy if y'all think Jam told." Like it'd take like a half a sentence.
Right. Well, I think Zoo might have actually been.
He was like murder for hire. He like, why would they do that? Like he gave me a perspective that I didn't think of.
And look at this. I mean, this might be DJU just kind of saying whatever because I guess he's homies with him. But DJU in this interview, I guess, says OTF Jam didn't snitch. Lil Durk be spoiling them guys.
That's not like a great follow-up sentence.
Also, look how much fake news there is. That this is like the 4th result. OTF Jam has reportedly been ambushed and killed in Chicago. He is actually locked in a prison right now. But I mean, I probably should do a little bit more research. But goddamn, there's a lot of misinformation.
How many views is Federal Freestyle got now?
147K.
That shit had like 30-something thousand before this.
Yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to throw that out there is that I already feel bad in advance of that being decided or not.
But that's like decisively the narrative.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I can't feel that bad. I was just rolling with the narrative.
Just imagine if he didn't wear a wire.
I think it seems.
Hold on, but
just imagine him being around you while you talking about a crime, though.
Yeah.
If he didn't
even
wear
if
a wire?
he didn't wear a wire, now like if Jam was by you, talk about some shit, you'd be like,
"Oh yeah, we're not hanging."
You just put a real black eye on his name, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like in the back of your head, you gonna be like, or did he?
Jam is not invited to the carne asada
At all.
my assumption though is that he didn't wear a wire.
No, me too.
Who the fuck wears a wire
not
in this
even a
day and
thing.
age, right? That's not really like a thing, right?
There's literally nothing.
I mean, I feel like shit. You can have your fucking phone on. Like, why the fuck would you go out the way to fucking have a wire on?
There's nothing in the indictment that alludes to a wire. So if you read the indictment,
for sure.
there's not a single.
But they're not done arresting people.
Correct.
So
I'm
if
just
they're
saying.
not done arresting people, they can't put the entire jug out there until everybody's fully. You know what I mean?
A wire
So where
seems
they can
pretty
see.
antiquated, though. I'm a agree with your previous statement on that. That's like not a common.
Yeah, I view that as unlikely.
I seen some close people post about him in the wire or somebody in the wire. So it's like I'm not going because at this point I ain't finna even get them people name in the middle of it. But I seen some shit to where it like fucked me up. I'm like, is it true? Like,
honestly though, Adam, I would just like hold on to that apology for a while.
Yeah, you might
I think he's looking pretty shaky.
because if he didn't wear a wire, they would have been cleared it up. If he didn't tell at all and didn't wear a wire, they would have cleared that shit up. Like, you got the
100%.
homie fucked up. Somebody would have been like, hey, tell him to stop doing that to the homie.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Did you watch? You be watching King Yellow's little takes?
I watch every single word that King Yella says on the internet. No, I did not see that though.
King Yella has a YouTube channel.
No, because in Chicago, I don't really watch him every day, but like if it's some Chicago shit, who better than the ops to go watch? Because they know what's going on and they gonna tell it because they don't have nothing to fucking stick to. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, I had a Chicago expert just text me and they said, don't name drop me, but I heard OTF Jam was a snitch from a close affiliate, but just not sure if he was wearing the wire in the Rondo situation, but allegedly OTF members have been thinking Jam was a snitch.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was about to get to.
He did my man rock. Now I'm screaming free Durk.
Because that's what it said in Yella shit. Yella was like, he already was having problems with who did he go to jail with? Booney Mo.
Bonnie.
No, Booney Mo. He ended up
jamming
jamming them. They was getting into it allegedly. This was on King Yella's page. Like they was already getting into it because something about one of them got out earlier. I think Booney got out earlier in the favoritism or whatever the case was. And King Yella also exposed the fact that they already was on him about some shit before that and alleged to the baby mama probably not getting whacked by OTF, but him feeling a certain type of way because they didn't slide when his baby mama got whacked. You get what I'm saying? Like it was something like that. I just watched it.
So that's his justification.
This the media me because everybody thinks that I'm just so linked into this situation. It's the media me that just been on YouTube and the shit that I heard.
And I'm curious, Bricc. So, and I saw you in the comments on IG. But what was your response to what Geechee said?
Yes, because
I wasn't tripping. I was just talking shit.
No, but I want to know what you got to say.
Okay, let's do this just so we can review the title of it. God damn it! Why is this fucking keyboard working so? Like I type Bricc and it turns to Rick. Bricc, Geechee for extras. This clip went fairly viral on the No Jumper page, 230K. Geechee Gotti and 4 Extra criticized Bricc Baby for speaking on Lil Durk's case. I'm gonna be honest. I watched this whole clip. It felt like the criticism was pretty light.
Yeah,
it wasn't a wholehearted Bricc, you fucked up. It was more just like,
they wasn't even telling you.
And I mean, to be fair, Geechee seemed like he's not willing to talk about like almost anything streetwise
for sure
on a podcast, which fair be it to him.
Except for he has battle rap bars about, yo, after I shot him, I pissed on my hands to get the residue off the finger. Yeah, like that's the funny.
That's battle rap stuff.
But
right?
I'm just playing. Obviously, that's my good friend.
He's one of them people that's strict to what he do. We don't pod the same. Like you get what I'm saying? Like you into what you into, and I respect it because he keeping it all the way, whatever. That's why, you know, like as
100%.
far in this space, I kind of like shoot past a lot of people because I'm not gonna give any type of malice opinion, but I'm gonna speak my truth on certain shit. I'm not gonna put people in no bad predicament or nothing, but like if something come across the table, who am I not to speak on it? If I work for Channel 4,
it's a safe thing as a gangster street dude to be like, I'm not talking about anything streetwise at all. But from like a logical perspective, if there's a news article or an indictment or whatever, like what the fuck are we going to be able to say that would possibly change the outcome of that indictment?
That's all I'm saying.
From my
100%.
perspective, you can really say whatever the fuck you want about what's going on outside of like your own personal knowledge. And even if you insert your own personal knowledge, it would have to meet such a high bar in order for that content to be in any way useful to the feds, who, keep in mind, have about 1 billion times the resources of any podcaster or content creator.
And this is exactly what I was explaining to Gotti. I was like, bro, you know that what Bricc is speaking on these pods is not anything he's not imparting any knowledge that's not already online. So there's no indictments being formed.
Yeah, you letting Wack tell you I was the first person to speak on that narrative publicly. Yeah, that was bro, them me getting that narrative was from the fans.
Well, yeah, and
You know
he
what I'm saying?
wasn't.
The fans formed that narrative, and I was laughing at it, and I wasn't working at No Jumper at the time. I just was coming for another interview. I'm like, oh, yeah.
So to be
I
fair,
just gonna play off that. I'm about to drop not enough anyway. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Gotti said, I wasn't even talking about Bricc. He
For sure.
specifically said that.
Yeah.
However, Brick's response was pretty interesting. He said, hey, y'all fools, and this wasn't directed directly at Gotti, but he's under this umbrella of gang members that have become podcasters. You know what I mean? He's a part of that community. Brick's like, I'm doing what I need to do to be at the top of this food chain right here. And I'm going to get the most money, and I'm going to get the most attention. I'm going to get the most views. And I'm focusing on this more than the streets.
This is an example of aggressive titling, because I'm going to be real. If I had been doing the titles for this episode, I don't think I would have gone this aggressive. I'm glad they did, because it got a lot of views, but it also kind of stands out to me. I was like, oh, okay, this is a little.
We put this episode together as, as a team to make sure it was cracking, because Bricc, we had two star players weren't going to be there, so we had to make sure this episode was lit. No Bricc, no Adam. We gonna make sure this shit's cracking.
But no, it was a dope episode, and I respected Geechee take on there. That's why I'm like, it's cool, I understand it, but then it's like I've already made the severance of my entertainment career and my street presence. Like, I'm not gonna compromise the street shit up here, but like, I'm gonna be an entertainer while I'm right here, and I'm gonna entertain. So if I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to explain what I will do. Like,
and that's why you're not moving into my building.
I play with his butt. I'm not gonna play with his butt.
But
Gucci Mane doesn't have good pussy. Oh wow! So that might be true. Okay,
he said he got the
Oh man, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's trolling, there's internet stuff. It's a little different. Yeah, fuck it. How do you feel about this one? Wack explains why he thinks Bricc Baby is done with gang life. I did title that one.
I think that's an interesting thought.
Oh, that's where the people start adding me from.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had responded to that, and I had never seen the clip. They just like, how you feel about Wack saying you done with the gang life? I'm like, shit.
He's always kind of saying that about everybody, though. He's always saying that snitch rappers are fine, but that snitching is so normal now that it's like basically not even fair to, like, judge rappers for that kind of thing, because everybody's a tattletale now. He's always kind of pushing that streets is dead type narrative.
Yeah, he's not that wrong.
He's
for
not that wrong, but
not.
Then he ain't right either. Like, that shit ain't straight. Snitch and rap. Whoever listen to you. That lets you know that the hip hop fans are not who you think they are. You think that you're rapping to please these niggas that's gangbanging. They not even listening to it. It's the white kids and the little square kids that don't give a fuck about snitching. That's for sure finna snitch if they ever get caught on a drill.
1000%. And I know Adam agrees with me on this. One of the most entertaining pieces of content in the history of hip hop is Prodigy's book.
Prodigy's book is good, but I prefer the MySpace blog posts.
MySpace.
Don't question my trend setting.
I'm not mad at you.
That shit needs to be like chronicled in a way, because I feel like nobody knows about this shit anymore.
They don't know about that, and even like, I'll take it a step further. The Prodigy vocally produced version of his audiobook,
which you can find on YouTube for free. I've been watching it very, very slowly over the past year.
My point is, he said a lot of shit he shouldn't have said in there from a street perspective. Yeah,
I didn't get to any of that yet. I didn't get past the very beginning of his rap career, to be honest. I didn't get into like too much like drama with people and shit.
Before we got to Prodigy though, but so the gang life shit, what I responded to the gang life of Wack, I said that the streets are over. At 36, I'm not finna be there day to day. I'm gonna be associated with what I'm gonna be associated with till the cash drop. And that's that. But day to day, Call of Duty and all that, if y'all need me, call me. But all that, while I got this going on and I could change my life forever if I keep going this way, or I could keep on straddling the fence and be rich. But the reason I'm rich, it can possibly sit me down for a minute. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have to go this way for a second, man. I gave y'all plenty years and I'm still here, but I'm just a different type. You want to do something positive, you want to come on this side of the fence, come fuck with me.
And it's not like you're doing anything that really deviates from your previous moral compass. Regardless. You're not like getting people in trouble. There's nothing you're saying.
Yeah, it's not like I turned officer on a nigga.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm with the LAPD now. Fuck you guys.
Segue. I'd just like to point out I'm wearing the new What's the Dirt merch, celebrating the great beef of 2024.
I'm really mad. Hold on. What's the dirt saying? You shit before me? What's the dirt, bro? We gotta have a combo, my boy.
You should probably just buy it. But
They don't got no jumper drama on there. Tell me.
Right.
look, I can see it. Oh yeah. Look right here. How much? $60. What a bar. $50 for the crew neck.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it, but
Look at
I'm
that.
still offended regardless.
If I wanted that, I would buy it. I like to support content creators and stuff. You get the t-shirt for $40. They have What's the Dirt merchandise as well. So if you don't want to celebrate this beef,
The crew net's better than the hoodie, Dirk.
I like hoodies too. It's like wearing a blanket.
No, I'm just saying, like the design. I would just feel like it hit harder on. I think because it's bigger.
We're from LA. Crew necks are big. We like crew necks out here for sure.
Yeah, well, shout out to What's the Dirt. Everybody go tap into whatsthedirt.net/shop. What is on the rest of the What's the Dirt website?
That's the homie, bro.
A historic hip hop conversation piece. That is true. You wear the shirt to the bar and you could quickly start wowing women with your knowledge of the greatest beef of our lifetimes, perhaps. So there's that.
That's the only shirt.
This is just like the website as a whole. I don't know what else
You got to hit the 3 over there, but
over here. Yeah, it's like it's
shop.
basically just the shop. Look at that. That was a fucking monster bong hit right there.
Not major for a young player like Lush. You know,
that's what I'm saying. You still off the thin smoke and the heavy smoke.
Yo, Lush came in full party mode. I feel like you're on a sick one and you're trying to like figure out the balance right now. You keep hitting the fucking liquor. Blasting bong rips. I just want to marvel at this.
He would do anything but roll a blunt with me, but he want to hit the blunt every time. He know I ain't gonna ask to hit that.
Yeah, nah.
I'm just not like a big blunt roller. I'm more like you feel me. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You look like you're trying to just barely hang on for life right now. I almost feel bad about giving you a hard time about the being late thing. It's actually maybe that created this circumstance.
No, not at all. But look, I knew that I was late. And
so you fucking took drugs?
If you want, I'll pull up the car accident that was on the freeway.
It's okay. We all seen a car accident before, but
nigga got it one saved.
I felt
you got a whole folder car accidents,
day, night, morning, in different settings.
That's smart though. That is smart.
I love my job. Like, this is right
now. Oh yeah, that was at 4:30.
That's 4:30 right now, bro.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
So yeah, there is a bad car accident, but regardless, I promise chat that I'll be on time.
What the numbers looking like
right now?
We have like damn near 5,000.
No, I ain't talking about our numbers. I'm talking about the fucking presidential
5K right now. I don't think they really like know much right now, but we could go. We should go to like a fair website like CNN.com.
So here's something that can we talk about the election?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, this is the first projections of the night, but I feel like this is probably not even worth paying attention to at this point. They haven't called any states or anything.
So my brother, who is a consummate Democrat and a huge, not only supporter, but major contributor as a CEO of Indeed,
right,
to Kamala Harris,
he's
like worried. And my brother knows everything before it happens.
You would have to be pretty fucking out of it to not be worried because it is like an unbelievably close election
when
at this
Aiden
point.
Ross bet $1 million, I was gonna bet whatever I had in my pocket too, because I'm like, well, he's not gonna lose $1 million.
Hey, I would bet whatever my brother says. He knows more than.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
even
like-
when I already knew it was which way it was going. But when I just seen people putting up a million on that shit, and I know they filthy rich. You don't care if he lose it, but it's like
Right.
they just gonna, that's like
Aiden Ross put $500,000 on Cardi's thong. Right?
I'm gonna go against the grain. I think Kamala got this.
yeah.
I think in the real world, when you deal with actual voters, when you take yourself away from Twitter, which, as you all know, is Elon Musk owned and by far favors the right at this point. And when you take a step back from the podcast landscape and all of the Elon Muskin and the Joe Roganin, I feel like the average voter is pretty scared of another 4 years of Trump. That's just my assumption. Obviously, this doesn't go for everywhere, but my assumption is I think that she's going to have a better showing than a lot of people expect her to.
I know
have.
my mom is scared of another 4 years with Trump. She's like, "Did you vote? You need to go vote for Kamala." I'm like, "You don't want me to go vote. I'm not voting for her."
It's so funny because my family is so like, you have to. If I don't vote for Kamala, I'm like disowned. I'm written out of wills. Like it's all biz ad. Like
That's interesting because the pro-Israeli party, like anyone who's like purely concerned about Israel,
It's Trump.
is going with Trump,
But
which
my-
is quite strange to me because neither of these parties have taken any kind of like hardcore anti-war perspective.
Okay, so when you watch
both of them are going to continue to
when you
support
watch
this
the
war.
upcoming No Jumper release of the interview with
Kamala gives a little bit of lip service for the record. That's about it. What are you saying?
when you watch the upcoming release of the interview with my father on No Jumper, you'll see that he says that he considers himself a Jew despite the fact that he was not bar mitzvahed, but he doesn't consider me a Jew.
I
And
consider
my-
myself
and
a
that's
Jew
from my
because
father.
I put on a yarmulke in the music video.
Yeah, in the middle of a lot of
I feel like that was bad. Like, or not bad, big. I feel like that was big for the Jewish community.
that was big.
They're going to try to claim me.
But what I will say is that I think that there's no definitive winner already to the point where people are very comfortable with Kamala winning.
More than anything else, my Kamala support comes from my belief that it should not in any way be tolerated for a president to not agree to a peaceful transfer of power.
For sure.
And I feel like Trump and Elon, all these people are all geared up and ready to paint a narrative that this election was actually totally compromised, which I think is absolute bullshit. And that's something that I can't support at all. So in my life, I wouldn't be surprised if the next candidate who runs for president that I vote for is a Republican. That would not shock me. It's not going to be this guy who's
It won't
spreading
be, yeah.
this
Yeah,
misinformation
yeah,
about the
yeah,
election
yeah.
being stolen.
Yeah, for sure.
My vote will never go to someone who's spreading that bullshit.
100%.
Fair enough.
And the thing is with Kamala, I think with the street dudes, because like regular voters outside of us, like she was like the head DA of California.
Mhm.
Her name's in like a lot of my friends' paperwork.
a lot.
Like
All
all of them that's been sentenced as juveniles to life without when they wasn't supposed to and stuff like that. Her name pops up right there. So it's like it's hard for me to walk inside somewhere and vote for her, but I wouldn't vote for Trump either. I'd probably give that odd guy a vote.
the odd guy is essentially a vote for
Whoever the you know how
Yeah.
somebody else makes the ballot. Like I
Right.
think that I would go in there and just give him like a fucking vote this time.
That being said, I'd like to call attention to this. BET.com. No, Kamala Harris did not lock up thousands of black men for marijuana possession and other lies debunked. This is.
Can we cite the source?
I wasn't talking about no weed.
We could get into all of it if we really want, but it's like
Can we
this is
cite-
already like very well established, and it seems like there's no hope for us getting past the misinformation that has been spread about this. So I would encourage everybody to do some research because the idea that she locked up all these thousands of men is total bullshit.
Well, okay.
Over
Critics
weed?
often cite
on.
a figure of over 1,500 marijuana convictions under her leadership. According to the Mercury News, an investigative report revealed that from 2004 to 2010, Harris's office oversaw almost 2,000 marijuana convictions, both misdemeanor and felonies. And despite this, only 45 individuals were ultimately sentenced to state prison with no information available about their racial identity. So this is fake news that has been very, very much spread.
I'm not
Well-
talking about weed though.
Well, I mean, first of all, to cite the source of this,
We need to
article-
cite a source from you if you want to try to make this point.
Yeah,
well,
please.
that's from BET, correct?
I mean, obviously, BET is pulling information from other sources. This right there, the Mercury News, is who they did an investigative report about this.
And let's
So
look at
anybody who wants to make the case for me that this is wrong needs to bring facts to the table and show me their source.
What I will say is there is definitely during Kamala's tenure in the DA position in California, there was a disproportionate amount of minorities that were incarcerated for crimes that
You're basing that on
we-
what?
I'm basing
A hunch?
no personal experience.
That's not going to do much for me.
I mean,
I
like, you
could bring up cases where my people is on the streets now, and she's the one who wasn't trying to let them get out and all that. They had to fight against her.
To be fair,
came
this
home.
was all entirely during a period of time in which marijuana was very much illegal, and in particular,
I'm not talking
trafficking
about
marijuana.
weed. Y'all talking about weed. I'm talking about
this part is about weed.
Yeah. I'm
That
just
article
talking about
specifically
other
referring to marijuana, which is somewhat misleading when you're looking at the overall scope.
But
of
also
why
the idea that a DA was not going to lock people up for trafficking drugs is kind of hard to imagine, right?
No, I understand what you're saying, but the matter in which he was so aggressive about it and the disproportionate amount of minorities that were prosecuted despite arrests, and those ratios are like a little bit alarming. However, overall, that doesn't mean that Trump is necessarily a perfect candidate or anything to that degree. I'm just calling it like I see it. And a lot of the grievances that people have towards Kamala are based on this, particularly in the state of California.
This is my thing. It's like the standard that she is being held to seems unbelievably unfair because people are reaching for absolutely anything they could possibly say about her. Let me just draw attention to this. One more quick Google. Trump, Epstein. This information came out this week. Audio recordings of Jeffrey Epstein talking about how Trump was basically his best friend, my closest friend for 10 years. Now, I implore everybody out there to just think about how much has been made of Bill Clinton's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. How much has been made of like the idea of there being a Democratic Epstein-involved pedophile cabal, etc. Jeffrey Epstein came out and said that Trump was his closest friend for 10 years. This is an old audio recording. Have we heard anything about this? Like, Trump is allowed to get away with literally anything
because he's crazy.
If the right was honest, this would be getting massive amounts of exposure, and instead they're just ignoring it.
Yeah.
So it's like these candidates are being held to very, very, very different standards.
For sure. And that's why I said in the real world, the only reason why I myself wouldn't vote, and I wouldn't vote for Trump either, is because personally, I have people with her name in their paperwork. And I wouldn't do it. But if anybody else, like, and I told my mom that too, like, yeah, I see why y'all going for it. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't vote for her. Just due to, like, I'm a criminal. You know, that's why they don't need felons to vote. We already biased. We already seen that.
But you know about Trump and the Central Park Five?
Yes.
Trump is fucked
I mean, those
up.
motherfuckers were innocent, and he was going on a media tour claiming that they deserved the death penalty and shit. It's like, if you want to, like, get somebody as your president who's going to be compassionate towards criminals, I just don't think that Trump is the guy. I'm going to be real with you.
But that's why I said I'm not going to vote for Trump. It's not
right.
I wouldn't vote for Trump either. It just was, I'd rather Kamala in office. If you want me to, I'd rather Kamala in office, but I'm not voting for
So
her.
let's remove the two candidates and just look at the two parties and essentially what the primary concerns are of each party. Democrats are concerned about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh my God, what an insane oversimplification.
Hold on.
I mean, don't you care more about policy and like their plans for the nation?
I'm speaking of the policies.
I know, but I just feel like that's like such a bizarro, like right-wing talking point.
Hold on. So that's not one of the top five.
I agree that DEI is cringe, but I also think it has a place in our society. I was just at a school meeting and like they are heavily emphasizing diversity, and it's like, on one hand, kind of cringe. On the other hand, I get why it's important for a private school to want to have a nice mix of different races and people from different backgrounds, socioeconomic, et cetera. I mean, to sum up the Democratic Party as if it's all just
No,
all they care about is
no.
DEI. I mean,
look up the policies and the concerns of each of the campaigns, and one of the top 5 is that
Trump tried to steal the election.
A lot of hate in this world wouldn't even it wouldn't even transpire if everybody grew up with each other, though. If it was diversified and everybody knew that everybody were regular humans too.
Of course.
Like, it comes from being segregated. Like, it's a white neighborhood, it's a black neighborhood, it's white school. And even though it's not like really segregated, but this is how life still is on the low. And it's like, we're not used to you guys, so we can build whatever type of hate for you guys in our mind. And then when we finally do go off and want to do something that's going to go hurt somebody else, like, that doesn't look like us because they don't look like us.
Okay, and if we're really trying to push I agree with what you're saying. And if we're going to be pushing a pro-Kamala agenda, let's look at what
I'm not really pushing a pro-Kamala agenda so much as I just would never be able to vote for Trump, and I don't really understand how anybody who has a fair moral compass would be able to support that kind of person getting into office.
I didn't vote for Trump.
I didn't vote for anybody because to me, my vote is entirely ceremonial because we live in California, which is obviously going to go for the Democratic candidate regardless. Being that it's entirely ceremonial, I don't feel like either of these motherfuckers deserves any kind of ceremony. So being that I didn't bother to vote, I don't give a fuck.
No, and me neither. And ultimately, a lot of people are looking at things that don't really have a bigger effect on the issues that people are concerned about.
So wait, you gave us this good right-wing speech and you didn't even vote for Trump either?
No.
But it is pointless to vote for anyone in California, really. I mean, obviously, like down ballot, all the other shit, that's worth voting for.
Yeah,
but
yeah. You got to vote on the props and all that shit. Like, I'm big on.
I saw Lena researching
fast.
every single other thing on the ballot last night. Every single like proposal, she was doing her Googles on every single one. I'm sorry,
They give you a booklet. What happened to the little pamphlet that gives you the pros and the cons, or the right wing?
But here's the thing, like
that tells you.
What's the right wing concerned about? One of the most important things, or the left wing, and I'll give y'all this, and this is why, and this is as somebody whose entire family are consummate Democrats, major contributors to Kamala's campaign, all that. All right, reproductive rights. I agree. I lean very far left when it comes to that. It's a woman's choice. You know what I mean?
That's another reason I think Trump's losing this election.
Well, that's
what are you trying to say?
Abortion has radicalized a huge percentage of women in this country, and the right's attempts to overturn a woman.
He's trying to cut it off.
Okay, so they overturned Roe versus Wade, which is basically like the thing that was making abortion like fully legal in America.
Which,
now,
by the way, is the most important legal case of like the past 100 years.
Right, and so this is the thing about the Republicans is that they know that banning abortion is like an extremely unpopular position in terms of the entirety of the country, and they have been trying to not talk about it at all in the lead up to the actual election. They've been not talking about it
at all
because they know it's a losing case, but they can't separate the fact that the Republican Party has so many diehard anti-abortion people that are going to absolutely, if he gets elected, work towards making it more difficult to obtain an abortion.
I just don't get it. Like, I mean, I feel like you said, it's the woman's choice, but then it's like, what is the reason for you not like? You can't see that somebody's not in a position to have babies. Like, what happens if like a 12-year-old, like those grape cases that turn into pregnancy?
Real YouTuber right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Real YouTuber. No, I agree. My perspective has always been, I would way rather a woman be able to terminate her pregnancy than to have an unfit mother be forced to raise a kid that is obviously going to end up with a fucked up childhood, probably end up living a life of crime. The last thing that this country needs is more unwanted kids whose parents are not paying the full appropriate amount of attention to them. Even just beyond that, it's like, who the fuck am I to tell a woman what to do with her body? I don't want to live in the kind of country that takes that upon themselves.
Well, and it comes down to this. So it's like, when it comes to social issues, I lean really far left. Issues like this, I'm in 100% agreement. When it comes to how our money should be allocated and the things that are important as far as like national defense and economy and the way funds are appropriated, I'm leaning a little bit further right. So that's why in this instance, neither one of these candidates captivated me to cast a vote.
I feel that.
So you think Trump he's in it for the free bands?
I'll tell you what.
He's in it for himself, period. That's my assumption about him. He's not.
He's finna have more money if he wins.
He's not ideological. That's the difference. People always want to do this Trump-Hitler comparison. Hitler had a vision for the world. Now, it may have been evil, but you know, he had a real idea of what he wanted the world to become. I don't think Trump has that. I think Trump just only gives a fuck about himself and whatever suits him.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, what is the United States beyond a corporation, right?
But I think to a lot of us, the United States is a symbol and a representation of what we think that the world can be. And I believe in American exceptionalism. And I think that, you know, the reason why we take on aiding wars like protecting Ukraine, helping Israel fight against, you know, Iran and whatnot, I think that's because we see ourselves as having a responsibility to help the rest of the world. And I don't think that Putin should just be able to take over Ukraine just because he has more money and weapons, you know. And I think that America standing by Ukraine is, you know, it's important.
But it's like this. I agree with everything you said. However, when I think about it from a logistical perspective, I look at third world countries or countries even that have first world areas, but other regions that operate in a third world capacity, like India, like China, these places where there's extreme poverty. In fact, a considerable amount of the continent of Africa as well as Western Asia, aka the Middle East. And we look at all these regions and we look at like the way that people struggle and the regard and the way they're doing it. And it's like, okay, this is the way the majority of the world lives. So should we not make sure that we, the people around us in our immediate vicinity, are safe from the perils that exist outside of this comfortable bubble, aka the United States? Because the United
Nations.
Well, I was about to say, the United Nations is a concept that really doesn't truly exist. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's us versus y'all. Yeah, we might be aligned in certain capacities, but at the end of the day, we're going to protect ours and our greater interests. And how much of that is important to us?
I think not allowing Putin to conquer the globe is important for our safety as well in the long run.
I agree.
Now, granted, it seems extremely expensive and it is kind of insane to think about how much money we're tossing at this war. But, I mean, ultimately, I don't think we should just roll over and let the bad guys win. That's just me.
Nah.
I don't want to be.
I don't think that while we in, and I know that it's not a money thing, but like we in debt and we're still dishing out. They should at least have something like they can cut funding a little bit. Like it's something they can do to where it pleases the people and we still aid our allies. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It might be in budget though. They just post the fucking how much they spend on there and the world goes crazy. Like it might all be in budget of us going further in the debt because we probably could only like accumulate so much more debt a year.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to come across as pro-Trump as I probably am in this conversation, and a lot of it's just for the sake of conversation. But who do you think has a better relationship with Putin and Russia, et cetera?
Yeah, Trump never said a bad word about Putin, even when it was unbelievably obvious that he should have condemned his actions. And to me, that's like one of the scariest things about electing Trump is the fact that he seemingly has no ability to be honest when it comes to speaking about other countries that are behaving badly. And Putin is like the worst of the worst. And Trump never said anything bad about him at all. That to me is terrifying.
But I mean, don't they got like relations? Didn't they get caught
They're both like the
in
same
bed
dude,
together.
you know. They're both
Yeah.
basically have like the same mentality.
So he's probably like, I'll do what you say. We'll figure something out. You guys put Trump back in office.
Trump hates that he's not able to behave with impunity the way that Putin does.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of my whole point, though. Who do you feel like would have better control over Putin and that whole entire fiasco? Which
I want someone who's willing to go to war with Putin and stand in a business and make it clear that we're not going to deal
going
with
to
his
war
bullshit.
with Putin. What does that entail? That's a dynasty that includes Russia, Iran, and North Korea. All those fools clicked up.
Fuck all of them. They're all evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Kamala Harris finna be the motherfucking general that's gonna lead us into war with them motherfuckers.
I mean, I feel like
they
we've
got a war
been doing all
general.
right.
We got a general. She's gonna be the president. She's
Yeah.
not gonna
What
be
do
the
you mean,
general.
bro? That's our commander in chief, homeboy.
I understand that, but they got that shit's already been separated. It's not like when fucking Washington was in office, bro.
I know.
We're not walking through with our flag with the president like that. It's just like
Hopefully, we don't have to. And if we have
they
somebody,
got people that
if we have
are
somebody that
strictly
has
for-
better relationships and more respect from foreign governments,
They
it
hate
might
It's
that
not
dude.
respect.
Guy.
He's living in fear. It actually seems like Russia has something on him because every time Trump had an opportunity to say something honest about Russia, he just cowered in the face of Putin. He's just a dick sucker.
because they probably made some money together.
I think they got info on him.
Info?
Oh, yeah.
Who got info on him?
Putin, Russia, they got all kinds of info on everybody.
I mean, those fools probably was like, you feel me, like tag teaming Lady Liberty.
They probably
you
were
know?
tag teaming a.
His last name is Putin. That's like a silent, sneaky, but deadly.
Cameron
You know what
was
I mean?
right.
When you Putin,
He kept
those
computers Putin.
SBDs, silent but deadly Poots. What was his name? Was farting. This would be more like
See,
a louder dude.
I want someone like you in office, someone who's going to bring that kind of argument to the table. I'm not against that.
The cold part is I'm not even a Trump supporter to that degree, but I'm not gonna like bend over for the left wing in this instance, considering I don't feel like they've had a capable, competent candidate since Obama's last tenure. And a lot of people would argue that he was terrible, but like at least people respected him. I don't feel like they've offered us anything.
I agree. Kamala is probably like the worst modern presidential candidate outside of Trump. Definitely in my lifetime, for sure. She's done absolutely nothing to earn this role. That being said, I do feel like she's somebody who will at least allow for some sense of normalcy
She
to
was like a
settle in.
lottery pick.
Yeah.
She was a lottery pick vice president.
And I've said
Like,
this before.
I'm going with a woman of color because BLM.
Bro,
We're going to be speaking Chinese in a few years. By
think
the
about
way.
it.
Fucking
Biden swore that his vice president would be not only a woman, but a woman of color.
Yeah.
So she was chosen from a very, very small group of women
She
that
didn't
would
have to
be
do
in
too
any
much.
way
Come on.
qualified for this position at all. And then it just so turns out that he was going to drop out of the fucking election at the last possible minute. So I don't know, like, who the candidate, like, who would have been a logical vice president, but imagine just hypothetically it had been somebody like Bernie Sanders or Pete Buttigieg or somebody like that who realistically is coming with like a lot more likability.
Yeah.
I feel like if Biden had chosen the best possible vice president, this election probably would have been a blowout. We probably wouldn't even be thinking about
Yeah,
Trump
I would've
winning right
voted for
now.
Bernie Sanders.
Instead, he chose Kamala Harris, who realistically ran one of the least popular campaigns in the history of running for president. And
I don't
he
know.
made her his vice president because
Beyonce. I don't know, bro.
yeah, I mean that's good, I guess.
Can you pay your bill? Can you pay
Bro,
your
like her
bill?
pandering to specific communities is really, really like
Yes, and
That shit's crazy.
and-
I'm
and
like,
she
yo,
has-
If you co-sign
gotta
that, Bricc,
chill.
like, I thought
no,
you were
she
cool.
gotta chill.
Come on,
but
bro.
this is the
Yeah,
thing. She has in no way clarified any of like her real like positions on almost anything over the course of the past couple of months. And on one hand,
And
I
black
understand
people
why.
go for whatever. Go
Because
ahead.
she came in, she's got a job to do to try to win this fucking election. Clearly, she's being advised by extremely wise minds politically. And I'm pretty sure they told her, hey, we do not need to get into the nitty gritty of what your policy choices are going to be. If you're going to try to like unite everybody who might possibly vote for a Democratic candidate, we can't be getting into the nitty gritty of what you're going to do for trans people or what you're going to do with all these wars or whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure that they coached her and told her, you should basically just offer up like a vanilla platform of I'm going to do what's right for the world. And obviously, like, she's sacrificed a large percentage of people that would have voted for her by standing by Israel, which doesn't seem like that's even on the table. Neither candidate seems willing to say anything like of how they're going to.
with Israel.
They're not going to swoop in and just save Gaza. It's not going to happen. You know, it's like it seems like that's whatever like secret shadow government
really
exists.
Like
they're
victim,
making sure.
Who do you really feel like the victim is in that war?
Let's not get into it.
I mean, it's clear.
I want to talk about it, but I'm cool on it too. But
as somebody with Jewish ancestry who has relatives that have been going back to that land since Israel didn't even exist and that land was called Palestine, I can objectively say that there's an attempted genocide on the Palestinian people.
I disagree, but we don't need to get into all that. We can keep moving.
But
a lot of people agree with you.
Regardless of that,
not me, but
regardless of that,
I don't. Go ahead.
Let's look at the primary policy points of both parties. So
Israel has gone very, very out of their way to try to end this war over and over and over and over and over and over. It's been clear to them.
No. See, I haven't.
There's no two-state solution
I haven't
coming.
been keeping up with play-by-play to even give you an honest trajectory over the shit. Like, I can't give you nothing.
Right.
All I can tell you is, like, I feel like they got more resources for war.
Well, I mean, no.
Due to the Jews, the financial
that's the only stronghold that the Western world has in that entire region. There are no other direct allies. I mean, we have
I don't know
countries
what,
that
I don't
we're
even
cool
know
with,
what you
like,
talking about.
Well, okay.
You know
so Israel is a stronghold of the
yeah,
United States
okay.
in the Middle East. There's other countries that we're cool with, like Saudi Arabia, which is mineral rich, which has insane amount of resources. They're not necessarily militarized to the degree where they, you know, they're essentially a part of the UN, so they're a part of the Western world in that degree. But the major stronghold that we have, aka the UN, is Israel. All the other countries around there, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan.
But if they made an attempt to end the war, then what are they saying? Like, back down and we can end it, or is it like we'll end it just?
No, Israel's made that perfectly clear over and over and over that they want to end the war. They just want the hostages returned. I think it's a tragedy that Hamas has basically like created the situation that they currently live in by making Israel have to be so defensive.
Yeah.
If you talk to people on either side of it, they have very different takes. You know what I mean? And like,
I think a lot of people are just not honest about the threat that Israel constantly lives under from their neighbors. And their neighbors are being funded by Iran, who is basically like giving them the money to wage this war against Israel and making sure that they're never going to end up on the same playing field, or they're never going to agree on anything. Can we do some donations just to break this up a little bit? Let's see the money that was.
I go take a leak. We've been here for like
take a dirty leak. Yeah, we've been on almost 3 hours.
I'm like, what?
The DA sent $2. Lush, you were crying. We didn't forget. What the hell does that mean?
I have cried before. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what it's in reference to.
Means,
We've all cried.
Yes.
Yeah. Not all of us on the podcast. Some of us a little bit. I got a little teary-eyed talking to some people here and there. Bricc, you talk too much more than a civilian. He's not even here, so you can't hear that. Alcoholic Gamer sent $5. Grape, Fanta, and Hennessy and gin. Enjoy drinks on me. Coming with the smoothest, best drinks. Drink up. Y'all should be drinking more alcohol. Hashtag don't be early. I'm not going to drink alcohol even if you send me $5. I'm sorry.
And I fuck with alcoholic gamer, but Hennessy plus gin in any capacity sounds like so repulsive.
Grape Fanta?
Yeah, plus grape Fanta.
That's strange. Lush looks like Hanson from Scary Movie. I don't know what that means.
Take a look.
Let's take a look. Hanson, Scary Movie. I thought he was going to say Handsome from Mbop.
I was about to be like,
This guy?
Yeah. Chris Elliott. That's
Oh yeah.
I am Chris Elliott.
You do not have this much hair, but if you were to cut the hair off, I guess.
If I were allowed to, like the back row of hair,
that might be actually like exactly what your hair would look like. Pocket. Yeah. Spider is banned from Metro Atlanta. That's a huge area. Are you saying that Thug is banned from there? Or are you saying that his clothing line is banned from there?
Spider Loc? Is that from our?
For sure, Spider Loc probably ain't been in Atlanta in a while, but I don't know exactly what he's referring to. He's probably talking about Thug. Freight something says, wasn't sure at first, but I mess with the new rap movement. It's a fun new lane. Fuck the hate.
We're having fun.
Thank you. Yes, that is quite nice for you to hear. Let's see how we're actually doing. Let's do a quick view check. And I implore everybody to go watch this 20 Men versus 1 Adult Star
featuring about that?
Featuring Adriana Chechik. Let's talk about that when Bricc gets back. But let's see what we're looking at. We got 2 days, 70K on Free Durk, and then going beyond that, the other one, 85K on What Would Vaughn Do. To me, decent numbers. Obviously, it exploding a little bit more would have been cool. But I think those numbers are fair. And I will say it's very hard for me to get used to the difference in dropping music versus dropping interviews, because like an interview almost always is going to get almost all of the views in the first 24 hours. Right. And that's very different from music where, yes, there's a spike. But if these songs are going to eventually, let's say, settle in at, 300,000 views, because that's what the Cypher did, it's going to take months realistically, or like at least like weeks. Like the views roll in over time, so it's kind of hard to judge. And I pay more attention to this now. I notice that even a lot of the rappers who I consider like very successful, it might take them a week to hit 100K, and then I see that video 3 months later, 4 or 5, 6 months later, I'm like, oh, it has 1 million. But it takes time.
For a 5 to 6 hours amount of concentrated work, hitting like 150K is pretty solid.
That being said, the money, like the amount of money you have to spend to get 1 million views on a music video doesn't necessarily make that much sense to me, but fuck it.
I mean, yeah, 1 million. I feel like spending $1 million.
You've outdone yourself. You pulled up with a taco bowl. Look at that.
Hella crema.
Crema.
I don't fucks with the crema.
Yo,
I've never eaten one of these. I see people eat these all the time.
You don't like them?
I mean, I feel like I would like it. I just have never eaten one.
I'm not like trying to like. That
it's
was like
taco
rude.
salad.
A taco salad.
I don't want to talk about it. That's like super rude to talk about someone else's meal. Like, nah, your meal looks amazing, bro.
You think it looks like shit?
No, I didn't say it.
You kind of seem like you might nod off during this episode. I've seen a lot of people saying it in the chat. I'm just gonna say it too. I'm kind of seeing it.
Do I not seem present or cognizant of what?
You seem zanned out.
It's not even that. I've been drinking and like.
Yeah, you seem like you're like hungover / like battling it with other substances.
I'm totally, I swear, I'm right here with.
I don't want to like rage out on you or anything, but it does seem like a little.
Really?
There's something going on here. Like, I'm trying to like guess the substance.
You're faded.
I'm totally here. Guys.
You're fucked up, bro.
I am. But I don't feel like it's like affecting like the topics.
It's okay.
I'm just saying, he's trying to figure it out, and I'm putting it easy on one.
I don't want to sit here on this podcast and just ignore reality.
Okay, I'm a little thizzed up.
Oh, thizzed up.
Oh.
Are you battling it with the Zans or something?
Nah.
Or it's like you just hit the weed and the alcohol and that kind of balanced it out?
I take Zans before I go to sleep. I'm thizzed out right now.
So you Zan to go to sleep and then you wake up and pop an E-pill.
Well, today I took like a little.
Fucking try to fight me off the this. He looked at me like, what you gonna say?
He's not gonna try to fight you. I couldn't imagine that.
If we have to.
If we have to.
No.
I could start a race war in LA.
Yeah.
The Jewish community.
The Jews and the blacks go to war.
I'm off a little bit of it this.
Nice. Okay, let me get through the rest of these. Freight Shakers. Wasn't sure at first. Oh, yeah, I already read that one. Evan, $2. Is Adam gay? You motherfuckers. No, I'm not gay. Seemingly a fake Lush One account sent $10 and said, as a black man, I voted for Trump because I believe his policies promotes economic growth, support entrepreneurship, and encourage criminal justice reforms that empower my community. You feel me, fool? I mean, that is kind of like a summarization of what you kind of said. So I guess.
So I thought that the prison reform.
No.
So the right wing is prison reform now?
I disagree. I think that if really like people who paint Kamala Harris as if she was this like brutally tough, hard on crime politician,
but people change.
But keep in mind, like she was the DA in one of, if not the most progressive state in the country. Yes. If you want to earn favor as a DA in California, you know what you do? You let a lot of motherfuckers out of prison, in particular black people.
Right.
Because
she wasn't doing that then.
But the thing is this,
I think the amount that she was doing that is kind of discounted.
But this is like the benchmark of the Democratic Party, and why like the older I get, the more I kind of don't identify with them as much, despite that being such a huge part of my DNA, is the fact that these are the people that go out of their way to ingratiate themselves with the black community, with the brown community, and try to make it seem like they're going to do things that are progressive for them, and then wind up incarcerating them to a disproportionate degree. And you can
Which,
look back,
again, that is very much up for debate, and I feel like we fact-checked that
I mean,
earlier.
when she got to office, that's when we finally passed over the, well, not office, because it wasn't like she was the governor or anything, like she could change anything, but when she got away from being the head DA, that's when we got Prop 4757, which alludes to like you can't give a motherfucker 10 years for being a gang member and 10 years for fucking a gun and 10 years for this and then 5 years for the crime or 3 years for the crime. They was just whooping us out.
Who is
black, white, brown? They was fucking us up. It was fucked up.
But keep in mind, California has the reputation for being one of the most liberal countries in the world and one of the worst, it's not countries, states in America. And that in addition to that, it's a state in which crime is completely out of control because our government has refused to really take it on in the way that they should. So for sure, you know, the vision for America, for California that the Republicans have is one in which way more people are incarcerated and way more harsh sentences are handed out for low-level crimes. Now, granted, like people getting out of prison relatively easily is cool from my perspective because I know a lot of people who are in prison.
Yes.
But in addition to that, I mean, when people talk about how California is damn near unlivable because there's so much crime, the really like the only way to combat that is to lock up way more people, right?
Or fucking drop the grass prices from $6 down to like $2.75.
That's kind of a different conversation. Yeah.
That's okay. And
stop making it cost so much to fucking survive around this motherfucker. We'll stop tweaking out.
Oh, word up. So how would we achieve that? By opening up the pipeline, something that conservatives, aka the right wing, are in power of and are trying to implement. However, due to the fact that people want to fucking pander to natives and fucking suck a lot of dick, they're like, oh, we need to shut down the pipelines. You feel me? And that's why.
What did you just say?
Suck a lot of dick was seemingly quite arbitrary.
When I the natives and suck a lot of dick, like, nigga, this is their country. What are you talking about? Okay. They don't want the pipeline.
Okay,
nigga.
Word up. Then we're not going to be able to have the gas prices at a $2.75 Bricc, baby. Because that's how we're able to do that.
That shit don't cost that much. It don't cost
what
that,
are you
bro.
talking about?
We're
outsourcing to fucking foreign entities in order to get our gasoline as a result of having our natural resources, aka our pipelines, shut down, which is
gas is $2.19 in Atlanta.
First of all, that's not true.
On West Side Road, and look at my last post at the gas station.
I would never question your belief by not merching your hood, but I'm saying
the average price of regular gas in Atlanta is $2.95, basically $3.
Okay, so you're wrong, brother.
Go on my Instagram. I was at the gas station. It was $2.19.
Right, but the average is about $3.
Okay, so regardless of that, it just negates your point. So what I'm saying is,
shut your high ass up, nigga.
Average gas price in California $4.50 roughly.
The whole point is, if you look at, first of all, going back to the 90s, Bill Clinton fucking played the saxophone on In Living Color and in Arsenio Hall and endeared his way into the hearts of urban America by thinking he was down with them and proceeded to disproportionately incarcerate minorities. This is coming from somebody whose family fully supports to this day all the Democrats, and I'm still a registered Democrat. With that being said,
being tough on crime was an extremely popular liberal value at the time, and I understand that that's like almost hard to imagine now. But like those conversations, people try to smear Bill Clinton for those conversations about super predators and all this kind of shit. That was politically useful to him. That was the state of the country, that people wanted him to be tough on crime. And it was very popular even within his own party. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. I was literally one of my previous points I was going to bring up. Who was in office when that was implemented? There you go.
This kind of
What
shit.
is one of the most commonly cited things as being destructive and unfair towards who? Minority communities in the inner city. The 3 strikes law. So, like, you know, my high ass has a few facts somewhere. A couple marbles rolling around in this.
Okay. Bay Area something donated $5. Trump 2024, keep that same attitude when he gets in off ice. I assume you mean in office. For sure, I am going to keep the same attitude regardless of if he is in off ice. Regardless, Kings 85.
Let's just in off ice right now. It's all good. We're good. We're good with it.
I can't wait to read the Reddit later. I can't wait to read the comment section discussing Lush and his mental status on this podcast.
All right, on one.
Not a shot. Kings 85 sent $5. Y'all do realize they called Kamala a social worker because of how lenient she was, right? Yeah, that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make, is that she was very much viewed as a very progressive, a progressive DA. TTMG said Kamala threw the book over petty drug charges. Trump let out 30,000 prisoners who were affected by the 94 crime bill. I mean, what I think you're forgetting right now is that the tone of the country has very much changed. Letting out people after they've done their 20, 30 years is very, very popular now. It used to be much more popular to throw somebody in prison for the rest of their life. So, okay, you know,
100%.
Trump, I think, also realizes that shit is very beneficial to him. You know, letting out 30,000 people who have like marijuana convictions and shit. Like Biden was going to do that too. Kamala Harris is probably going to keep doing that shit too.
Do that, bro? He had plenty of time to do that. He ain't do that though.
He did though.
Biden
Did
gotta
Joe
work on standing
Biden
up.
release?
Kodak Black, no.
Yeah. See I'm pretty sure. Yeah, President Joe Biden on Thursday hailed the release of 4 American. Oh, okay.
That's pandering to the masses.
He
bro.
definitely released a lot of fucking prisoners as well. It's just like anybody who becomes president at this point, I think is going to have to do some of that. Whatever. Another fake Lush won $5. The fact that you don't need an ID to vote is fucking insanely criminal. Talk about stealing the election. You feel me? I do think that, you know, voter ID laws are people want people to have ID to vote, and I do feel like that is one thing that I split from the left on. It seems like that would be fair, even if just to appease the other party who is obsessed with claiming baseless charges of election fraud. TTMG again, speak on how Democrats are busing illegals to these swing states so we can't have a fair election for the future.
Okay, see, this is type of
like
extremism that makes the right wing look ridiculous.
Elon Musk talking points that I think are pretty poorly sourced.
And I'm not going to rock with you on that.
Right. TTMG again said, in the words of J Main, do your homework. Okay, for sure. Oh shit. We got
I feel like I've been making amazing points, and it's like
that's why you got the donos rolling right now.
You definitely feel like that. This
guy
guy meme sent $10. I don't know why. Shout out to
Put
Meme.
that on my hood again. Nah, cause y'all be in here,
bro.
I really be lenient on y'all, nigga. 4 extras be on you niggas' ass.
First of all,
don't put nothing on the hood. No
He
more.
He got on your ass for talking about the
don't put
40s.
nothing on the hood
Excuse
no
me.
He
more.
served you. I watched that.
First of all, I incited amazing dialogue. And
Nah,
Race
he tried
riot.
to say that it was popular to be over.
The fact that
Just say you wrong, Lush.
the fact that 4 extras derived what I said as that is so fucking insane. He's like literally had nothing to do with what I said in any capacity.
But you was hitting towards some shit that'll get a nigga knocked out in jail. You would have said that in
bro,
jail.
well,
Nigga
I'm glad
just
that I'm not in
shit.
fucking jail.
Oh, my mama.
I'm interviewing
That's
him on
how-
fucking
that's how
No
sensitive
Jumper.
jail is.
And I'm not even, bro.
Like,
all I said is,
it looks like it's cool to be from over there. Like, what the fuck is you?
Yo, I was shocked when you said that. You said, it seems like it's really cool to be from the world 40s right now. I just watched him explode.
I said it's a popular hood to be from as a rapper. And he said, you said, and he said, rewind the tape. You said this specifically.
But who's got motion? X4, 4 extras, and Doty 6.
fucking.
It's not exactly like it's sweeping the nation or anything. And these guys, they take offense to it because it's like they're from there. They're like, I'm not from here because it's popular. I'm just from here, and I'm in no way co-signing anybody who wants to be from my hood just because it's popular.
No one
That's how
implied
he took
that.
it.
No one fucking implied that.
But
though.
you worded it in a weird way.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. You want to go?
Yeah, let's watch it back
Let's
and
judge
see how. Like,
That's how you know you don't kick it around game.
okay, fool. I've never met one in my life. You're
I
right,
didn't say
bro.
that you.
No, I'm a
talking
square.
about when it comes to political conversations.
You're right. I've never had one.
All right, you can't say it, nigga. Hood
For
nice,
extras,
nigga.
I never said. I didn't say that.
Okay,
Watch the
all
clip.
right, we got to be quiet to watch this clip. Let's just watch like the first 40 seconds
Let's
or
see how
whatever.
he's right about this because right now, like your hood has got a lot of cracking rappers right now.
Yeah, we
You
do.
feel-
We do.
I feel like right now it's kind of like the most popular, Crip hood to be
On the
from.
west side?
Yeah.
Hey, no, CC, you taking this shit as a game. You took
No. In the
That's like we
listen.
used to say that about the hood all the time, and we used to get on niggas' ass.
It's not like you said anything wrong because I know what you meant. It just came out in a very goofy way, in my perspective of what I would think that they would think of that.
Bro, first of all, he was like, he knows the way I meant it.
But he's got to think about all the phone calls that he gonna get, like my boy Dizzle. He knows the phone calls are coming, so he got to stand on business right now so that nobody can say, "Hey, you didn't really stand up for what you're supposed to."
He did an incredible job, and I'm glad that the clip is as awesome as it is. And I think me looking like I'm a substitute teacher in a
80K views, not bad.
You know what I mean?
Solid outing.
Yeah. So
do we need a little bit more?
Fuck is wrong with her?
You're not letting me
get some thousand views.
It only takes 20 seconds. 20 seconds into the clip. What the fuck is wrong with cuz? This motherfucker's hilarious. Wait, let me just get through the rest of these. Young Max sent $5. Shout out to him. Woody said, I'm voting Kamala. Thanks for showing me the way, Adam. I mean, I really got to you in the 9th inning there. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind, by the way. I didn't even vote. Meme sent $10 again. Have you ever heard of keep your enemies close? While Trump was president, there were no wars.
That's kind of my point.
Okay. That would take a lot of time if we were to do that. I don't know if I'm ready for the commitment of calling Destiny right now.
That might be lit.
It might be cool, yeah. I have his phone number, but I don't know if he picks up his phone when he gets on stream. Darshan said, Lush, your family disowned you a long time ago.
Check out the interview with my dad coming soon on No Jumper.
Okay,
3 hours.
your way back in the house, so we know.
I'm already wondering what that 3 hours of my life is going to be like. Possibly a little less if I watch it on 1.25.
1.75.
I've never done that. I do 1.5 once in a while if it's somebody who's really speaking
Like
slow
me?
as fuck. No, I've never done it for you, but maybe I should consider. Bishop Rojas sent $5 and said, Church's Chicken or Popeyes, which ones hit different? RIP Juice WRLD, call Sharp, call Almighty, call LA Cool.
LA Cool.
Oh, right. Pronounced it wrong. Wow, actually, you want to know a bizarro almighty fact? I was with my kid at the pediatrician today, and there's a black dude with his wife or girl and 3 kids, and he's kind of looking at me like I kind of can tell that he knows who I am or whatever, and we exchange a few words, friendly shit, just talking about the kids or whatever. And then as I'm leaving, he tells me he was Suspect's mentor when Suspect was a kid.
What's the
And I asked Suspect, and he told me that this dude actually really helped him and spoke to a judge at one point and helped him avoid doing 3 hours in prison, or 3 hours, 3 years in prison. So motherfuckers are out here having mentors. It's crazy. He does community activist type shit. So that was
church shit.
Randomly when he said that, but he used Suspect's government name at first, which I've already forgotten, and then
Baron.
Something like that. So I was like, okay, interesting.
So homie. That's family.
He called you brother with an extra hard R.
Brother.
Did I say brother in the way that EBKJ would be saying
yeah,
brother?
we say brother in the Northern Cali way, not the biker gang way.
Yeah, because it's the Aryan brother too.
Oh my God, I watched a fucking a fight, and I'm pretty sure it was a black dude and a skinny ass white kid, and he fucking body slams this kid onto the ground so hard that it looks like he dies. And the whole time you hear a dude in the background saying, yeah, get him, brother. Get him, brother. Like, it's like a fucking, like, he learned how to speak English from EBK J-Bo, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It all of a sudden made me think that saying brother like that was a lot less cool. Because listening to J-Bo say it, I thought it was cool as fuck.
Well, like
you can't tell who's saying brother, I don't think.
Well, the way like the whites say it is like, what chapter are you from, brother? This is Antelope Valley.
Yeah, I don't want to be mistaken for that. That's a whole other thing, yeah.
But no, I like it in the J-Bo / Randy Savage way of saying brother.
Okay, and then Sir Charles or something. Maybe I could see all of them if I do this. Yeah. The irony that Bill Clinton created a crime bill and what his little brother doing? ?
My boy Roger was turning it up, dog.
What was Roger doing? I don't even know.
YOLA.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a tradition. John 5 sent $5, said Fonnie Willis doesn't like black people. Hashtag Kanye voice, go vote for the DA ATL. Why are people always accusing black politicians of hating their own kind? It seems like a weird, consistent theme. But thank you to everybody for those donations. We massively appreciate it. I feel like there's still some stuff here that we really need to get to. Wow, this is one I really wanted to talk about. So my boy Ether the Connect goes on. He's like a former friend of Fivio Foreign. He was on an interview and he had this to say.
As if like you was like I was going too crazy on them in the group chat with all the guys there. Cause you know me, I don't like to do like I want everybody to see what's happening. Yo, gang, what's up? Like why we ain't doing no music? This is real life, gang. Like bro, we here to get money and make music. What the fuck is up with you, man? Yeah. You moving like you forgot what's up. You forgot this is all like, but bro, you forgot we always do putting in like what's up with you, gang? Yeah. So boom, I'm like yo, gang. I'm in the group chat telling them like yo, bro, what's up? Durk just did 10, 30 songs with this. What we doing? Yo, you see what he just said about Durk, yo? Yeah. He's an opportunist. He only do songs when they viral. I said, what the type of dumb people would ever speak about the voice like that? Yeah. That's how I know you really not tapped in, so I had to soothe him up. Yo, listen, look at Durk. Look, Rondo #9. Look, Newski. Look, 10 years ago. Look, what you talking about? Look, all the man them. Look, oh, Duty Low. Look, what you talking about? Durk, yo, ain't put nobody on. Yo, go sit. You know, I told him, I said, yo, bro, I was a little tight when he said that, so I was like, yo, I sent him. Maybe he felt as if like you was.
Okay, so basically the point that he's making, he's saying that Fivio Foreign wasn't reaching out to the guys enough, wasn't doing enough music with them, etc. I think judging Fabio's career with Durk's career as if they were both in the same spot is a little bit dishonest.
He did Durk New York though.
But okay, Durk is huge.
A Boogie.
Fivio, I'm gonna be real, over the last couple of years has kind of been struggling to keep his career in the place that he wants it to be, and I fuck with him, and I actually like a lot of his
music with them.
But do you think that's it, or do you think that in his mind he wants to put out a different? Like, you remember Fabio's last album? He was trying to really like go in a different, less drill, less gangster direction.
Didn't he have that record with like Nicki Minaj and Alicia Keys?
A lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I want to see how many songs he actually did with Ether. Yeah, Ether the Connect and Fivio Foreign 5 years ago, 4.4 million views.
See?
This is footage of them fighting. So
what would ASAP do? They would do an album together.
Yeah, but how long was ASAP like a coherent rap group for like a couple years? Like,
but he said
none of them even talk to each other or fuck with each other.
He's saying they never put out a project together, and they all was putting in at the beginning. He got a valid argument, but it's like, at the end of the day, y'all can make noise by yourself, but if Fivio is supposed to, if they got a little bit of win out there, he is supposed to put them on his tape, and he is.
I mean, look, even a year ago on the radar, Foreign Side Cypher, Fivio Foreign, Ether the Connect, etc. It was all good just a week ago.
Only 150K views, mind you. But that's like less than like a Caribou.
Not great, but also like on the radar. Shit either goes to the moon or it does like nothing quite often. It seems like 2 years ago he brought Ether on Funk Flex with him. I mean, it's kind of like the question of just like how much does your rich/famous homie owe you as his rap career soars to new heights? You know, it's like
he really doesn't. They have to demonstrate value themselves, right?
And my thing is like the best role to take on if you're a henchman, if you will, a rapping henchman. Like, look at Tony Ayo. He's always like stayed in 50's good graces and always he's had to deal with some disrespect over the years, but he's always just kind of. Yayo's never been the guy who went to the media and said, "Hey, 50's treating me like shit," even when it seemed like 50 was maybe
Treating him
not
like
being
shit.
that good to him and was kind of treating him like shit. Now, that being said, there's a big difference between Fivio Foreign and 50 Cent, because 50 Cent even giving you like a crumb of attention or bringing you on a tour, et cetera, could potentially be like extremely profitable for you. Whereas I feel like somebody like Fivio Foreign is trying to keep his head above water in terms of his career, you know?
Right, but he's like
So
expected
you
to have
said
the same responsibility as far as how he's looking out for his people, even though he doesn't have the same resources as someone like 50.
I'm not like 100% sure. I'm just wondering to what extent Ether is being realistic about what Favi could
but
really
he
do for
said
him.
Ether is saying, look, 10 years ago when he was trying to keep his head above water, he was still doing shit with Rondo number 9 and Newski and various artists that were up and coming that was around him as homies. He always hop in the booth with his homeboy.
But
Durk, but
It
he
don't
wasn't
take
even,
nothing
like,
but
he
an
didn't even
hour to
have-
knock that shit out.
But he
Like,
didn't really have money at that point. Like,
but that's what he's saying. It don't take money to put people on. He's like, nigga, fuck with us. All he's saying is make more music with us.
but that's not necessarily true to actually do it properly. And you know better than that, Bricc.
But what I'm saying is he's saying let's just drop. Like you supposed to drop something with your mans in there.
I feel that.
That's all he's saying. If they got an OTF, this the second album that they working on. We've been cracking for a couple of years. Let's drop one.
But you know, you of all people know, like to actually drop properly, it requires
It
having
does.
a budget behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just like quote unquote, no, hop on this song. And, you know what I mean?
You can, because they if they want to drop the album and it be an independent album, they could put up for
If a
it.
show is finna help your
It don't
streams
have
and
to
all
be.
that,
It don't have to be like. What if one of those motherfucking songs go viral? Shit, you could. You know what I'm saying? It's the pick of the litter.
But
What if they
it
just
has-
catch on and like it.
It has been 4 years since there's been a video uploaded on Ether's channel that features Fivio Foreign on one of his sons. Now, I think this is the other thing too. Durk doing songs with a Rondo number 9 10 years ago, which doesn't really seem like a fair comparison. He was doing that, but it also seemed like it was beneficial to his career because obviously Rondo had this insane street reputation. You know, like I think whether it's Durk or Fivio Foreign, they're basically like acting in the best interest of their career. And especially like, I'm not saying anything bad about you either, but if Fivio feels like him doing a song with you is that maybe giving you a verse and taking the time out of his day to shoot a video and then promoting it, et cetera, that maybe is not worth his time because he doesn't feel like you're taking your music career serious enough, or that maybe you're taking it serious, but he just doesn't believe that you actually have motion, you know? And I hate to say that because if you're really a good friend, you're going to do shit for your homies regardless of if you believe that they actually have a future in the music business, right?
For sure.
I mean, you know, you used to shoot videos when you were unsuccessful on the block with these guys. I'm assuming that their friendship goes back that far.
That's what I'm saying.
But, I mean, to be fair, okay, I feel like a lot of the dudes that Durk gives verses to and shit are people that he at least kind of put in position because he felt like maybe they had a future in the music game.
So you feel like he don't believe in either?
I don't think he believes in Ether. Yeah. And I don't know exactly why, but it does not appear from his actions that he believes that Ether has a future in the music game.
Yeah, that could be something too. Because there's homies around that I wouldn't do songs with, and they be like, "Man, we should get in this." Like, it just don't make sense.
And that's the point. Like, if you look at when Durk was doing songs with Rondo and them, he didn't even have change yet. He was still like low key, fresh off the block as well. And also, like when you were doing songs with like Thugger and all that, and you have some of your classic songs, a video wasn't required for every single song. Like in 2024, like just giving someone a record is different. You know what I mean? Like you need to have a video or else the song really don't count at this point. In 2024, you know what I'm saying? You have to have a little bit more behind it. Back then, we were just slapping shit still. You know what I mean? Like, so it's different.
Going what's that? How new hip hop is?
Right,
what the new drops is? Downloading the new drops.
New hip hop.
You might like something that day and just ride out with us. Should be a joint for a couple months.
I still go to Hot New Hip Hop all the time.
For real?
Just because, like, when I'm trying to get topics together, it's kind of like the one blog that still actually kind of posts like everything, not everything that we might talk about, but it's like a little bit more comprehensive than like scrolling down the Nojember or the Academics Instagram page, which is useful. I do that as well, but like I still feel like Hot New Hip Hop is like the one last standing blog.
Original hip hop joint.
Yeah, and it sucks. The website barely fucking works. The app stopped working. I used to use the app. I've been to the Hot New Hip Hop office like many times.
Me too.
Yeah, in this random spot in New York, right?
A couple times. Oh, well, I've been to a spot out here.
Oh,
you talking about DX?
Oh, Hip Hop DX.
You talking about DX?
That was on the roof. Yeah. So I had a couple interviews with them out here, and I think they sent people out. Because I didn't go to that.
I went to Hip Hop.
Was with DX.
I went to Hip Hop DX exactly once to do Crooked Eyes podcast. That was short lived. Didn't last too long. Anyway, we've just come out to hit the 3-hour mark. I do kind of have to do some sort of babysitting at some point. Oh, I can't call it babysitting because it is my child. But this one caught my eye. Trump is winning so far. Thoughts, Adam? I feel like any kind of judgment call made at this point is basically useless because a lot. I was listening to a New York Times podcast about it this morning. Basically, like it's very likely that Trump will take the lead early on in terms of like what votes they count and what. There's a lot of
the time difference.
Yeah, and the time difference and all this.
It's a bit premature to make any like
tonight
conclusive decision.
Tonight, and keep in mind this might take weeks for us to know who actually won. If there's a huge landslide victory for either Trump or Kamala, then we may find that out tonight. That tonight would be like you could, in an extreme situation, you could see a situation in which somebody was willing to call it tonight. But that being said, it still wouldn't be official.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to.
That's what I was about to say. It's at least 2 to 3 days. You know, Trump, if he's losing, he's about to be.
Oh yeah, we're in for an absolute.
It'll be a coup d'etat. Straight mutiny.
I want to play this one in which Wack responds to being called a social media gangster by Jay Prince. Which one should I watch first? Oh, that's Wack responding. So I think if we go here.
Yo.
Okay.
A lot of these social media gangsters can't even walk to the store. You know what I mean? They can't do this. I just want y'all to have a somewhat of an example from the live and the Memorex. Ain't nobody out here with me other than me. You know what I mean? Because it's love, respect, and fear. This line shit is in style. You know, it's a hell of a thing about this line thing. It's, you know, it's some in style shit going on today, and I don't tell hello. Yeah, I don't receive it. I don't condone it. And I don't even like the niggas that support it and with it. Because I understand what's gonna come with that. You know what I mean? I understand what's gonna come with that. Yo.
Let's check one more.
It's a cold thing, you know, these dudes on social media talking about booty, digging in their booties and all kinds of shit that I hear.
Talking about me.
I was gonna say, that sound like Bricc.
Oh shit, that is. I was thinking, I'm like, Wack. What did Wack say about that? That sounds okay. Wait, let's see.
Oh shit!
I want to get
this.
this.
Shit is this going on? You know what I mean? But for each his own, man. I don't condemn a lot of you fakes. You know what I mean? Do what you best at doing. But understand, you know, that post I wrote the other day. The universal laws govern us all. And when I use those words, reaping what you sow.
You got all loud.
Oh, you can guarantee you're going to reap what you sow.
And then so Wack reposts it and writes, "This bozo Jay Prince got my name in his mouth." I don't think he said your name, right? But blocks me from commenting. Everybody else can comment, but he took the time to block Wack 100 from comments and said my name. So wait, maybe there was another part where he said Wack's name. Either way, I mean, they've been going back and forth for a minute. This is some old head shit. I don't know if I don't got no fucking opinion on this.
Why did I have to be a part of it?
Well, you are making yourself a target by coming out here saying crazy shit like
Dig
that.
it in the booty?
Talking about raping your homies?
Ew, why am I making myself a target?
I mean, a target of old school gangsters who would never
That was really doing that shit.
really fucking
They
your
was
home.
really
Jeez.
they was really doing that shit back in the day. Hold on.
Wait, you think Jay
He know a
Prince?
couple people that fucked a couple people in jail before. That was what was going on in the 80s and the early 90s and the 70s and shit.
I believe you, but that doesn't
Yeah.
change the fact that you saying it on social media is definitely going to make you a target of people saying, "What the fuck is wrong with this dude?"
That's a terrifying thought that
That's
any
why
of
I
these
said
guys
it.
are involved
Yeah.
in anal penetration.
I'm not digging in ass, Jay Prince. Please. I want to be mobtized, bro.
I see the way my trolling is like infesting your brain, and you're starting to say zesty things like me. You would have never said that in a million years before
I
it came
always
here.
tell niggas, I put my finger in your booty. Shut up.
Ben
nigga.
Zesty, not none of this, do this.
When we play with the homies, man, listen, bro.
Will that sell if I make? You remember Ben Trill? What if I make a shirt that says Ben Zesty or just Ben Zest?
Nah, that ain't.
That's not it.
That ain't gonna be it.
Well, you're our target market, so if you don't, if you don't like it, then for sure it's not happening. Okay, that being said, I'm gonna read this one last donation. Adam, bro, you're way too smart to be brainwashed and woke. It's so hard to listen to you talk politics, lush cooking. Mo, no offense. My opinion of you, based on this, is that you might be retarded. No offense, but
Let's cooking right now.
you're too smart to be brainwashed and woke. Like, if you think I'm woke, you're at least a little bit confused about what woke means. To be totally,
Well, so take it on like a new meaning at this point.
yeah, and people just use it to mean whatever the fuck they feel like saying. Should we watch Buckshot get the dog shit beat out of him, or at least the
that's unfortunate.
the aftermath?
So shouts to Buckshot.
Explain to the people in 2 minutes or less who Buckshot is.
Buckshot is a hip hop legend, one of the people that really brought like the real street shit back to New York in the 90s. The entire original backpack movement, boot camp clique, you feel me, Duck Down Records, shouts to Smith & Wesson, Helter Skelter, R.I.P. Sean Price, OGC, and all the other affiliates of the boot camp clique organization. Black Moon had their seminal album Enter the Stage drop in 1993. Huge influence on hip hop culture. Apparently, some young heads, some young drillers.
I'm not going to call them YNs, but I've seen a lot of people saying that on socials.
Right.
So they were they on Galaxy Gas? Not 100% sure.
Ran up on this man who's 49 years old in his neighborhood of Flatbush, where, you know, he's always held it down and represented. And I guess they beat this man up to the point where he was hospitalized, and it became a serious situation.
The video is very brutal. It seems like Complex does not want to post the video because it is kind of gross.
Yeah, it's
and,
been difficult to find a link.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had one earlier.
Yeah, but they've been deleting them. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't want to show it if he is embarrassed by the outcome and shit like that. Maybe blackenterprise.com will be able to help it out. It's not like you don't see him getting his ass beat, but you see him, you know, struggling to exist.
To be fair, we don't know what like transpired prior to the footage that we seen.
So
but
the young dudes just pulled up on him and got cracking.
It's hard
Allegedly.
to tell. It's just a
Probably
video.
an argument went left. They probably were drunk outside.
You know, you don't know like what could have led to it, but
Don.
you just Don. It might have been the Don. It might have been the
Don,
little
Don.
bad dude. No, but Buckshot is not looking too good in the video. But it looks like Duck Down Music, which is like the label he's associated with. Black Moon and Boot Camp Clique's own Buckshot was the victim of a recent assault in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Buckshot, born Kenyatta Blake, was assaulted on Monday. Buckshot was hospitalized, since released, and under the circumstances, he's doing okay and recovering. We currently don't have more detailed information to share, but we will do so as it becomes available. For now, if you'd like to help, please issue takedown notices across social media sites or anywhere that the video is posted. Okay, I'm glad we didn't watch it.
right.
Of course, you can also leave him well wishes here or on his personal page. Yeah, I don't know that I really like went out of my way to listen to a ton of Buckshot, but I was a huge Sean Price fan, so I'm pretty sure I listened to a bunch of him as
yeah,
well.
you definitely there is no Helter Skelter or anything without
Yeah.
you know, Buckshot, BDI. You feel me? Yeah. Like he is a huge innovator. Was you know, people remember him from the Crooklyn Dodgers anthem, which was in the movie Crooklyn. You know,
Crooklyn.
yeah.
Oh,
Exactly. There you go. So amazing rapper, seminal MC, and it's really unfortunate that the OGs are, and when I say OGs, I don't mean that in a gang way. I mean the older generation of hip hop luminaries are not being respected by the youngsters to this degree. So that sucks.
Yeah, man, best wishes to Buckshot because that shit was tough to watch. Seeing
Prayers
him
up to him. You feel me?
struggling to come back to life, bro. Like they beat this motherfucker down bad.
And he older. What, he about 50?
Yeah, he's 49 years
Yeah,
old,
that ain't straight.
and he's not like the largest
But
physical
these young
stature.
niggas don't have no filter. My boy, shit, they say my boy just got walked down by some kids.
For
And
real.
yeah. Allegedly, he said if they was older, they would have got him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
said
mean,
they didn't know what to do once it was crazy. I don't want to talk too much.
it's
about it.
hard from the video to know like who was in the wrong. Wow, that's crazy because it's going to be like some YouTube channel is going to interview the kids who did it. Well, actually, they probably need to be worried about their legal status right now. So
at this
probably
point, because they talking about he's a victim of an assault. That's terms of
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to infer too much. And I said we don't know what occurred before.
They might have made a call.
Yo,
To them people, assault. That sound like a big.
But if you want to see a divide between the older generation and the younger generation, just let it be a pop and drill crew out of Brooklyn assaulting a legendary ass old school rapper. We're gonna finally get the like collision of the old school and because nowadays like
these young niggas don't want to box. B
nowadays
you mean
the old school typically like leaves the new school alone because they went through the SoundCloud era. They're just not paying attention. They don't give a fuck about what they're doing. This could change that. You could definitely see like a not like a war in the streets probably, but you could definitely see like the collision of like I just want to see
letting the TV raise your kids.
I just want to see the old school rappers going on like a social media campaign against the drill rappers, and I feel like this might incite that.
Make your kids call their grandparents ma'am and sir, because at this point, this is where they losing respect for older people is at the house. You get what I'm saying? It has to be something at the house because if the way we was brought up, we wouldn't dare growl at an older person when we was younger. Or if it was a 59-year-old man, we ain't packing him out unless he trying to do something to us. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you got grandparents and shit like that. Now, you get what I'm saying? Now these kids, it's like they raised in the house. The community doesn't raise them. They don't care for, they don't know. Unc next door, cuz fuck around, give you $20, $30, nigga, because he know that you need it. You get what I'm saying? You outside, he give you $20, $30, you go to the store. You know what I mean? Like, you got to embrace the older people in their community.
But what you just said essentially touched on the point I wanted to make was that a lot of these OG rappers from New York, it's their nephews and their kids and their little brothers that are the active drillers, you know what I mean? And there's less of a disconnect than we might assume, you know what I mean? Although they're not actively promoting that lifestyle, like it's their young life that are straight in the mix with all that shit. And even look back at our interview that when we sat down with Joel Santana and Jim Jones, they were like, hey, that's my nephew's involved in all that shit. Da, da, da.
But my reflection on that was that it seemed like they were not necessarily willing to say anything critical about drill music because of self-preservation reasons, that they want to be considered cool by the younger generation. So they're not going to say anything that in any way implies we rapped better than the way people rap now, even though I would assume that they do believe that because I believe that as an outsider. I love drill music. A lot of drill artists
talking about killing.
Even just lyrically, a lot of drill artists
was harder.
What are they doing? It's like it's like a paint by numbers type flow, you know? It's like these dudes half the drill rappers rap exactly the same.
He got shot in the foot. He got shot in the spit. He was better than the pull. He hopped up the bush.
Right, but regardless if they're gonna talk about like this quote unquote skill level or lack thereof of drill music, it's the same thing as their old heads were like, oh, hip hop's not even music. We listen to fucking, you know what I mean? Cool in the Gang and real music, and you feel so it's all generational. So I think that a lot of the rappers of that era are cognizant of the fact that the music might not be appealing or as lyrically advanced as what they were doing, but they're actually directly connected to these fools because they're related to them. So it's less of a, cultural difference than people might think.
My kid has become a super fan of Rapper's Delight.
A great record.
Played around her a bunch.
She like a hip.
Yeah. Lot of lyrics that she thinks are really, really funny. Like even for some reason she thinks the fact that they say, "Guess what? America, we love you." She's like, he says America. Like she just thinks that's tight as fuck. And even the part where you go skiddly boppy bop scooby doo, like that. Ooh, she makes me replay like that verse over and over, which is pretty tight. This morning, Alexa, play Rapper's Delight. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, because that's like a rap. And you know what it is? It makes me reflect on a time in rap history before any rappers thought of saying some offensive shit on a track. Like this was an era in which they just hadn't thought of that yet. Like, oh, I could talk about drugs and gangs and shootings and all that. Nah,
they're just trying to make these words rhyme.
And we're going to talk about how the macaroni and cheese sucked.
Yeah.
Gave you a stomachache. You had to run out the house. That's like, the idea that was like basically some of the first shit that people thought to rap about is just like so cool to me.
Hey, that could have been like the origins of a lot of drill beefs in New York to this day. We don't know. It could go back to somebody not enjoying someone else's mother's cuisine.
Hey,
when did they get into actually saying shit in raps?
Don't ask him that question because he's going to give you a 25-minute Wikipedia. He's going to Dejan your ass. Yeah. He's going to do a fucking. He's going to do a Dom Kennedy review right now. Yo, Dom Kennedy review is shorthand for somebody basically like filibustering the podcast to give you their hip hop opinions. I want to say
30-minute take.
This motherfucker Todd said Fousey's at the No Drummer store right now on Kick with FPR, which I believe stands for Fat pussy something. No, I don't know what the R would stand for, but that is not true because Fousey has been permanently banned on Kick, which was a little surprising to me because it does sometimes seem like Kick has like no standards and are willing to basically platform almost anything. But you got to think it from their perspective. Like I've seen mad clips of, do you know who Fousey is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fousey screaming into the camera saying, "I am going to unalive myself tonight." Like, if there's anything that's going to get you banned on a social media platform, it's that. Because then think about if 8 hours later he actually deletes himself, they're going to be sued into oblivion. Like that is the craziest thing you could do. That's like the number one thing you can't do.
Yeah, you can't talk about unaliving.
Yeah, you can't, and especially saying I am going to do this in the future.
Does he do that? Is he like Jack like Jess? Is he doing that like to have somebody feel like some type of sympathy for him or some shit?
I think he's actually like deeply mentally unwell.
So he ready to pop himself.
Which Jack like Jess probably also is.
Yeah, because he was said that he was doing to her head and his head.
Crazy shit.
But just to give you the cliff notes, Bricc. So Fousey is a dude that became popular maybe around like 2011, 12, 13.
I know who the cat is.
Yeah. Originally he was doing prank videos, had several notable public crash outs, one of which was on No Jumper, I want to say in 2017. When Sam Pepper was a guest. Who else did you have on there? Was Shane?
That was the Shane Dawson interview that turned into Fousey invading the interview, which turned into Keemstar coming through to fact check him, which turned into Ice Poseidon and what's that motherfucker?
Sam Pepper.
Sam Pepper, the NFT scammer.
Sam Pepper.
Then they came. One of the greatest podcasts I've ever done in my life. It was insane. I was like smoking way too much weed. My mind was blown the whole fucking time.
Have to say
Last
5
night,
words.
you got a pack of hate mail from MGK. I talked to him for like 20 minutes. But
Wait,
when?
I
was at the airport with him. Like, we talked for 20 minutes. You know, that's my boy from back in the day. Finish the Fousey topic.
God damn it, you can't ruin it. We have so much to say about Fousey, but okay, tell me, what did MGK say? That's crazy.
He said... all right, basically, he said that he feels like you and him are like one and the same type of dudes. You get what I'm saying? And he felt like you could have stood up for him more when he was going through what he was going through. And
I was actually actively hating on him and shitting on him. It was a lot worse than you just made it sound.
Yeah, because he was calmly saying it because he got a bone to pick with you. Like, you get what I'm saying? He was just like, even with the Eminem shit,
Yeah.
and all. I don't think I can remember. Was I on the show with the Eminem shit when you was?
No,
No,
because
that was way
was
before you.
5-6 years
That was
ago.
way
That was
before you.
forever
were like
ago.
So I'm
Longer.
like, I'm like, I don't know, bro, about that. But he was like, that's my boy. We've been on tour together, all that shit. So he just like, I'm glad to see you in position. I'm like, you fuck with Adam? He's like, man, like, I don't want to be a fucking white boy. I mean, I'm not a white boy that wants to be black. Like, black people just love me. He's like, I'm not going out my way to be black. I don't know what you hinted to and what you did, but he had a pack of like, fuck you, a nice one.
Heath, these are two separate clips. We're going to get back to the Fousey thing. But I would, in much the same way that I apologize at a certain point to Russ, I look at the MGK thing as like being very similar, where I was dumping hate on MGK in a way that I would not do to like basically anybody that wasn't like directly somebody that I had beef with,
Yeah.
At that time, it was like this corny ass thing that people do in social media that I was doing at that time, which is basically like take a rapper or
And
somebody
flame
doing
him
their
up.
thing, treat them like the devil and just make mad content out of it. And looking back on it, yes, I did not really have respect for MGK's musical output at that time. So it's not like I was being like completely dishonest about how I felt,
Yeah.
but
He's talented.
yeah. But it seems like all right guy. Like I have a lot of mutual friends who fuck with him and stuff. So like over the last like 6 years or whatever, since we had the awkward hand smacking encounter. Do you even know about that?
Nah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Bro,
Because he was trying to talk to me, and she just got her tooth pulled, and she was like parked, and my bag was there. We were talking for like 20, 25 minutes, but he was like, yeah, come over and smoke some cigarettes. We'll get down to the bottom of it.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
But no, so basically like I had talked a bunch of shit about him online and made clips talking, because remember, he was like the most viral fucking dude in the world during that Eminem thing. And I made, we talked about him on a bunch of podcasts and shit like that. And so then I'm at Rolling Loud 2019. I'm doing interviews on camera, right? And I'm talking to FaZe Banks, who is a good friend of MGK's.
Yeah.
And I see MGK in the distance wearing some kind of crazy outfit, and he starts walking towards me. And the whole time I'm thinking like, he's not coming over here, because I never even talked to him in real life.
Yeah.
I quickly realized like, nah, he is coming over here.
Yeah.
And as he approaches, we could watch the clip later, but I hold the mic out as if he's gonna start talking to me, and instead he smacks my hand. And it wasn't like the most, it's not like it like really hurt or whatever. Now keep in mind, he got like at least 2 big ass security guards.
Yeah.
I got Vel.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vel.
Well,
But these dudes were in like a different weight class than Vel. So I was at least a little bit nervous for sure. But it didn't turn into anything. But we had like a weird staring each other in the face, like a straight up like boxing match style stare down. But I mean, if I could just speak openly and candidly to MGK, who, by the way, somebody told me that he lives right near me, which I really doubt. I think he has way too much money to live right next to me. But either way, I resent, or I regret the way that I spoke about him in the past, and I do apologize for that, because it was. There's a way to speak about an artist that you don't care for and you think their music sucks. There's a way to talk about that that is still respectful of the fact that they're a fucking person. And it's not like what reason did I have to shit on him aside from the fact that I didn't like his music?
Yeah,
really, nothing really.
Him and Eminem, they were beefing at the time?
They made Eminem had some bars for him, and then MGK put out this whole, I think it's like
no, what happened was this. MGK made a comment about Eminem's daughter.
But like a long time ago. And you know how Eminem is he won't say shit for 4 years, and then he finally comes out and drops an album and basically takes a couple shots.
And this is on the heels of MGK showing love to Eminem and trying to kind of get his attention for years, and Eminem kind of just dubbing him.
Because he was like, you would take Eminem's side. You'll never get a call from Eminem, a DM from Eminem telling you thank you, whatever.
But
where all it took was for you to uplift him.
Wow.
If you guys would have been locked in, he was accessible. He would have came and locked in.
But look at this. Look how blatant this is. I actually forgot. Eminem, 487 million views on a just an audio file, the cover art is MGK's face in a crosshair, which is pretty over the top. And then MGK comes with Rap Devil, dropped on World Star, Skinny from the Nine Style, which has almost 400 million views, for sure his biggest song.
To be fair, probably the hardest anyone's ever come at Eminem on a diss track.
I haven't listened to this in so long. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna listen to it tonight.
Just to be fair, it's probably the best diss track someone's had.
So is this what he got when Megan? Eminem was like, "Fuck it, I'm."
I think he got with.
This is before Megan. I want to say
before.
Yeah,
Megan?
I think.
Because I think Megan was.
Megan came around
Megan
much later.
like,
I think.
Hold on. This is because this is pre.
That was
Rock and Roll
Weekly
arc.
though.
Yeah, because this is before Rock and Roll arc.
Yeah. So this is right before, and a lot of people. The narrative is that Eminem chased him into
2020.
They started dating in 2020, but
correct.
This
That record's 2019. So
look, when Hip Hop DX posted about this, December 2020.
Yeah, 6 years.
Yo, let me show you this clip. I just want you to see this. This is not.
So this just
This doesn't make me look terribly good, but let's watch
shared
it.
a clip with interaction to his Twitter account on Saturday, December 14th.
Oh my God.
That was like the softest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, listen to Laura. Listen, you got the
Oh my God.
Listen to Laura in the background.
MGK, what's up? Oh my God. Come on, MGK, say something.
That's right, Laura.
You trying to give me a handshake or something? I'm not sure.
I didn't know what the fuck to say after that.
Banks didn't intervene.
He came back and we had a little stare down that I don't think anybody caught on camera.
No, that was on camera as well. But
yo, this is the greatest clash of white boys in the history of Western
it was so
society.
White too. It was a white clash.
Wow.
He wanted to slap you.
For sure. He for sure was weighing the options in his head as he approached, which is like, if I really attack him, it's going to be so viral. It's going to be very bad. I'll probably get sued. This is going to suck. But I guess I could just whack his hand. That would be all right.
Yeah, it's like slap his mic out his head. Fuck it.
I got a question, guys. What was the major label that signed MGK? Do you guys remember?
You tell me. I don't know. Who did sign him?
It wasn't Def Jam or the original founders. No, it was Bad Boy Records he was signed to.
Oh,
it was.
Yeah.
So you're making a molestation joke. You think he got diddled by Diddy?
I'm just saying, MGK, you was at the fucking parties, my boy. There's no way you
he came around the French Montana time. Like it was.
They had the Ocho Cinco song.
What you working with? That was all around that.
They had the Ocho Cinco song.
I'm going to assume MGK has not shit on Diddy, not because he got diddled, but because he knows the code of the streets does not want him to go out here and shit on Diddy.
But I thought the code of the streets superseded sex charges or anything of that variety, correct?
If I had to guess, I would say MGK probably doesn't know about a lot of insane Diddy behavior. I feel like because when I had that conversation with Ness, granted, he could have been completely lying to my face, which I think he would do if he did know about anything because he's a street dude. I think that a lot of artists were probably insulated from any of Diddy's extreme behavior, right?
He might not like white boys. He never invited you to a party.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, also shout to my homeboy ENS. He was on Bad Boy as a result of being on that show. So it's not like he was like an artist that Diddy.
That's even more Diddified. The show, just imagine what you got to do to get in behind the scenes.
Look at Compa. Sup, J-Cats. Broke baby don't want the smoke baby. Adam is a bitch, and he been that. You need to say something clever or interesting if you want to stay engaged with you.
Sup, J-Cat. That's all he knows how to spell.
Look at this guy pretending to be you. Compa, you scary Larry. I've been up to the sushi spot 3 times now on 6. All right, anyway.
I'm glad you had to let my light work.
My sentiment to MGK, I apologize for my behavior in the past. You don't have to apologize for whacking my hand. I was all right. Only took me a few days to know. I remember having like a little scrape on my knuckle because he'd be wearing mad rings.
Yeah,
and
those
shit.
rings. I was just about to say that.
I think there was like a small little cut. The best part though is Laura freaking out in the background because like for people who don't know Laura loves white boys in rap.
For sure.
I don't know if she particularly gives a fuck about MGK, especially because Laura loves Eminem
She's
so
an
much.
That might be the opposite of her.
She might hate MGK just on the basis of him having issues with Eminem. But yeah, you know, it was my behavior during that time period, me shitting on you, it was whack and I regret it. So if we do end up smoking 6 together, that would be cool by me.
I think MGK on the No Jumper show would be fire.
Would you come out of SIG retirement for that day to smoke cigs with MGK?
I just did one, so yeah.
Yeah. He came out for you fucking facts.
But all right, this is the thing too, though, is that an NGK interview by me. Listen, I know everything about rap. I know way too much about rock music and pop punk in particular. So an interview with us would be illuminating because he's kind of like one of the very few people that has like deep roots in both. You know?
Especially considering I DJ'd for him in 2011 and was one of the original people that broke the Chip Off the Block record when it released. So,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. I remember Catfish, the BMX rider. I remember driving back from Vegas, and actually our car broke down that night, and we had to hitch a ride from a tow truck all the way from fucking Barstow or some shit. Is that it from Vegas?
Yeah, that's right in the middle.
Either way, I remember him showing me MGK and being like, listen to this song about beating heroin addiction. And I remember being kind of impressed. At the time, wait, look at this though. MGK BMX. He, 4 months ago, put out a song called BMXXing. And I mean, really, like, who in hip hop has any sort of care for BMX? It's pretty much like
since the Cool Kids.
I mean, this is new as far as I know.
Remember
like
the Cool Kids?
I do. Yes, I interviewed them and asked them about that. But you know, that's another weird. I would like to ask him how this all came about because that's kind of interesting to me. But okay, let's get back to the Fousey clip.
Yeah, Fousey.
Well, I told him that you guys would have a dope interview if he came and sat down and kind of argue with you about your shit. But
see, and that's the compromise, is that if we just sat down and didn't talk beforehand, it would probably be more viral.
Yeah.
But like the more mannish, grown ass thing to do would definitely be to like talk off camera.
Yeah, to chop it up a little bit. But let's go.
That would be good. Okay, so basically this morning I wake up. Oh, see, okay, Fousey is a cap artist because
and this is what I wanted to ask you. This is what I was about to get to. So, like I said, he had this huge, insanely viral moment arguing with Sam Pepper. Keem was here, and this is right before he was going to have the FouseyCon event. He's talking about, I'm about to meet Drake. I'm going to the line, let him meet Drake. Which obviously we saw how that turned out. However, you made a statement, and you know, I'm sure you're about to get into it, where you're like, of all the things I would do to get views, fucking with Fousey is beyond my limit. Like,
I did. I responded to somebody and said that, and then coincidentally, today Fousey sends me this DM. Let's show the screen. Headed to LA. I'm being searched for in Australia for assault. 7 to 10 years. I'm sneaking out right now. I'm going to be off the internet. Let's break the internet for my first thing back. Being an interview with you. No jumper. It's time. Devil emoji. I respond. This is actually on Instagram, so I want to acknowledge this discrepancy. This is Twitter. He also sent me screenshots of his messages on Instagram. That's where I responded. I said, I'm going to be real. I wouldn't feel right platforming you right now. You got to get your shit together, man. A lot of the clips I've been seeing are scary. Now, for anybody, I'm not going to play all of it, but for anybody who actually has seen a lot of what has been said and done by Fousey recently, it is scary. He's clearly going through a manic episode. And as somebody who, you know, Fousey can't just be a pure lolcow to me because I've been around him. I actually think that he's a decent dude. Obviously, he's dealing with a shitload of mental illness, but I just personally wouldn't feel right platforming him, given that from my perspective, he's not just like going through a bad manic episode. He's going through a bad manic episode while also threatening to off himself over and over and over. He's fired like his whole team. He's just like acting so unbelievably erratic.
Siri.
Yo, he would honestly, it would be a super viral, crazy episode if I were to do content with him. And even a couple months ago, Aiden Ross and Sneeko, et cetera, they were all doing it and everything too. I personally, as low as my standards go, I would not feel right about it. So then Fousey takes my message, which I'm going to be real with you. This is like a very, like this message I sent him is purely sympathetic and compassionate to where he's at. I didn't say anything disrespectful at all.
I don't feel like you were unkind.
I just said I wouldn't feel right platforming you right now because you're out of your goddamn mind and it's been very, very scary. That's basically it. He said, you're wild. You, out of everyone, should know I know exactly what I'm doing, and I was hoping you would give me a chance to explain myself, but I guess you want to be a slave and politically correct. Can I at least fuck your bitch. Which is
Okay.
usually
You
that's
are a bitch. You didn't even say you're a bitch.
Okay, Fusi, I know you're an immigrant and everything, but this is the wrong your. It's Y-O-U-R would be preferred. I responded, I would rather eat a plate of shit. You need to connect with Allah or something, you fucking kook.
Wait, Adam, before you go any further.
I wish you would just let me get through this, but Lush, you got to stop trying to jump in there while I'm in the middle of a monologue.
Keep cooking.
So then Fusi says, he puts out this video.
22. Hey, yo, Adam 22. Hey, put the volume down. He needs to hear me. His peasant ears can't hear me. Adam 22. Hey, listen to me, you cuck. You let a black man fuck your wife and post the video on the internet and then interviewed him on the podcast and you're talking and saying, I'm mentally ill? Brother, look in the mirror, okay? Repent to God, because the devil has his hands on you. And if you want to talk like you're talking online, Adam, I know the address to your studio. Tell all your workers to go home. Tell all your security to go home. Just have your wife there. Have her naked sitting there. Drop the Addy. I'll be there. Tell me the time. And no one gets to leave until one of the others can't. I'll do that.
It sounds like a rape threat. First things first. Have your wife there and we're going to fuck to the death or whatever.
It's kind of weird.
Fusi.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
And did you hear what he said? He said, the way you're talking. It's like, bro, all I said was I didn't want to interview you because I think it's so obvious you're going through a mental episode. And it's not like I'm just guessing that he's having a manic episode. I've been through this. You were locked up. There's some great content out there. You want me to show you a fucking video that you really need to watch at some point? Fusi No Jumper vlog.
This is amazing.
Shit, where is it? Maybe Adam 22 vlog would be a better thing to search because I don't think it was on No Jumper. Fuck. Oh yeah, I went to Fusi's event and it got swatted. This is one
I
of.
wanted to ask you about that.
This is not reek of compassion for Fusi that I was just describing because this is definitely me monetizing him having a mental breakdown. But this video is fucking crazy. Shout out to Lena. She made me leave this early because she did not appreciate the way that I was basically really enjoying seeing Fusi lose his mind. But yeah, man, Fusi, like as much as I told you you're a fucking kook, which you obviously are, it's like I was trying to look out for you because you're not well right now. I don't really think anybody should be platforming you. I won't hold it against them if they do, but
that's him, the muscle guy.
I wouldn't call him the
guy standing up.
He was in a lot better shape at this point. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Look at him screaming at Sam Pepper over me. This is like the most rewinded part, so it's fucking showing it.
He wasn't a muscle guy, but compared to what he is now,
yeah, he's a pillow boy now. Yeah.
So in those text messages he sent you, Adam, was it like before he sent the inflammatory ones, and he's like, man, I figured you of all people would give me a chance to explain my side. If he had just left it at that, do you think there was a chance you maybe would have given him a shot?
I don't want to have him on the podcast simply because, like, you know, it's easy to say, like, oh, somebody's going through it mentally, and therefore I don't want to have him on the show or whatever. Like, you could say something like that lightly. This is not that. He's fucked. Like, he's really in a bad place as a dude. And there is a tiny little part of me in the back of my head that's like, damn, you let Aaron Carter on the podcast a bunch of times when he was clearly going through something somewhat similar to what I think Fusi is going to. And I don't really feel great about that. You know, I feel like I could have probably been cooler to Aaron Carter, and probably realistically, what the fuck was I going to do to get him? You know, but it's like when you have somebody on the podcast over and over and over, and you're basically like creating this whole content arc out of them losing their mind. You know, I just wouldn't have felt good about it. So it's like I was trying to have a conversation with Fusi on a podcast with him. I don't know, maybe like a year ago, and he made it clear that his team had instructed him that they didn't think it was a good idea for him to go on the podcast because it would probably end up making him look like a tweaker, which is probably true. I'm basically like taking their opinion at face value. And the way he keeps emphasizing like my wife doing porn with another dude, like, okay, I get it.
But that's what I'm saying. So
but what the fuck? I don't care about you saying that, Fusi. That doesn't do anything to me.
Before he said that, he was just like, man, I just want that shot. And I feel like that's probably why you wound up having Aaron back on, R.I.P. Aaron back on the platform, because he wasn't dissing you. He was just like, yo, like, people are looking at me this type of way. Let me show you, like,
me and Aaron Carter never had like conflict.
Right.
We were cool,
Right.
but also I was able to observe him and be like, like, I don't think that you are well right now. And I still kind of continued to have him on. Maybe I'm remembering it a little bit differently, because
you said
definitely
that,
at first he seemed all right. And then as time went on, it kind of became more and more clear. I'll always think about the fact that Aaron Carter was like giving me his possessions.
That's what I'm saying. He was very adamant about being on the show. He gave you paintings that he had, you know what I mean? He was very adamant.
You still have them?
It is in the other room. It's this crazy like clown painting that he gave me that is kind of dark and depressing.
Did he paint it himself?
No, he like bought it. Like it's like, but it's
But he
kind
specifically wanted Adam to have it, and like was like, to me, like, if Aaron had energy that was in any way like adversarial towards you, you probably wouldn't have been even allowed him on the pod.
But the thing is like Aaron Carter, like, go watch every interview I do with him. He was kind of holding it together. Like, he was funny, he was outrageous. But it wasn't like unhinged like the way that Fousey is coming off right now.
Yeah, Fousey is a wild boy.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, it is kind of crazy to even be having these sort of content arcs with Fousey, because when I was first becoming a YouTuber in 2013, 2014, 2015 type era, I used to watch Fousey and just think to myself, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And how is this so popular? How is he getting millions of views on videos from just like blatantly having mental breakdowns on camera in his vlogs? And still to this day, I see that and I observe that. And the only difference is that I just don't want to engage with it, because I feel like whatever he's going through, it's not something I want to make content out of. I know people, like, some segment of the fan base thinks I'm like the worst person in the world, and I'm totally happy to like make content out of somebody losing their fucking mind. But, you know, a lot of stuff. I interviewed Boonk on live while he was like basically fucking dying. I didn't want to, but it did happen. And in retrospect, like, yeah, I would have stood on business and said, boom, get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to interview you like this, even if it would obviously be super viral.
What's the young dude, Dump?
Lil Dump, yes. Honestly, I wouldn't have put that out if he didn't demand over and over and over that I put it out. Go watch the one I did today with Rel Vert, who's like homies of Bloodhound Lil Jeff and Q50 and shit. I mean, he falls asleep a couple times during the episode.
Oh, he's starting booze.
He's definitely Percocet augmented for sure. Yeah.
Off some of this.
But to be fair, he also faces 2 huge blunts in the interview, which, you know, we all smoke weed, but a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Adam, what
said he falls asleep.
At one point, the blunt hits the table, and that
were you trying to like interrogate him, or were you interviewing him? Because he probably fell asleep because you were trying to get some fucking.
We kind of like gave up on trying to get him to talk about his actual like gang affiliation pretty early on in the interview. He stood on business. He made it clear he didn't want to talk about anything that would be incriminating, because you know them bloodhounds, they got all kinds of shit.
I didn't know Bin Laden was a bloodhound.
Oh, JB Bin Laden. Yeah, he was in here the other day.
That's crazy. I've been fucking with him since like 2016 type shit.
Probably before that was even.
And then I'm like, that's what area the bloodhounds is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's some guy that Fousey punched that wants to come on here, but
yeah, I was wondering, Adam, like, so when that fool was coming over here right before FouseyCon, and he's talking about like, yo, I'm about to have Drake there. Did you like, how much of that did you actually
you got
believe?
Charlie horse? Hey, I'm about to end this thing, so don't worry too much. But
how much of that did you actually like believe? Did you think that like he was telling the truth? Did you think there was a chance that was going to be?
I definitely knew there was a ton of lying and exaggerating going on in terms of him, even when he was telling the story about like almost meeting Drake and all that kind of shit. I definitely knew it was half baked, but there was still a tiny part of me that felt like, well, maybe J. Cole's coming. I don't know.
What to
his event? Yeah. At the
what
Hollywood.
makes you think that they're coming and you didn't pay them?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely insane. Like
J. Cole was almost certainly not even in California at that time. What's crazy is that now, like I've spoken to J. Cole a lot, and I've spoken to Drake a bit through the DMs, but I've never actually brought up Fousey. But I already know what they would say if I brought it up. Drake would be like, "Oh,
man.
you know, J. Cole would be like, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with that? Like, what is that? Like, J. Cole heard about it.
Man.
Well, Drake's team issued a statement and said they have nothing to do with it. They have no they had no
Did
knowledge.
they?
Yeah, look it up. They issued a statement specifically distancing themselves from it and said they had no knowledge of it. Yeah.
Drake says he's never met YouTuber Fousey after he claimed a star was booked to perform at his show. Damn, I fucking forgot about this.
That was a statement because, remember there was a whole, BOM to the is IB threat at that event and that shut it down. Remember?
My personal opinion is that Fousey called in that bomb threat himself for sure.
Well, and he was blaming Sam Pepper. He said Sam Pepper. That was like his whole thing.
I don't know, man. Sam Pepper was there hanging out. I was like with him, like when that shit happened. Like that was actually a fun ass day.
That's what I was gonna ask. So, what was it like being like? Because you were like one of the YouTuber guests of honors or whatever.
Yeah, it was a good time. I got to see. Oh, that was the Lit Poppy.
Lit
day
Poppy.
As well, yeah.
Lit Poppy went crazy.
Like a big. All these bitches on my dick with the shit and I put the. Remember that?
Then there was the whole diss track, the whole Rice Gum diss track. That was the whole point of FouseyCon.
All right, I had enough memory lane. Let's get the fuck out of here. It's been a nice stream. I had fun. Shout out to everybody out there for tapping in with us. You guys really gonna do the music thing now?
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Shit. All right. Anybody who wants to get their music heard, that's gonna be going down in like 10 minutes or something.
10 minutes, yeah. Get it in now, because we're not waiting.
Get it in now. Let's
Come
go.
on now.
Shout out to everybody who watched this. Go watch all the clips from this episode as well as the stream that I did yesterday right now on the No Drummer Clips channel. Also, you can watch my stream that I did solo yesterday. It occurs to me as I say that I've done a lot of talking on camera over the past couple of days, but it is what it is. Thank you, Lush. Thank you, Bricc.
Much love.
I feel like this was a good episode.
Let me get one of them shrooms.
Let's go.
See y'all on Thursday as well as the music stream.
Like, comment,